Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So I got so the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so tough. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. And now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty, I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. What beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over the Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look,
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts. Call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing
touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. I hope you're doing well. I trust your day went well. We're back at it. Part 4, silent treatment and manipulation, the shocking impact on relationships. All right, we kind of talked on that quite a bit yesterday, but maybe we'll reference some of that back today. Shout out to my sponsors. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Shout out to my sponsors. I have Mo Fresh, Life with Natu, Adesua, Film Girl, Open Floor by Tima, Grace Corner, D Love 3000, Yes TV, and Chidima, of course. You can join our sponsors with the join button on the YouTube platform. And also, you can download our books for free. There's one book called Get My Marriage Back, if that's your desire. And there's one called Number One Red Flag. But ultimately, really, what we do here is we extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics. And we attack them from a self, power, social, art of seduction, attraction, and emotional intelligence standpoint. Now, this topic is a topic that you might think we've exhausted, but not really. Not really, all right? But welcome. If you're watching this as a replay later on, welcome. Let me know you are part of the replay gang. All right, so you can sponsor this shows for, shout out to Natu. Thank you, Natu, for sponsoring yesterday's show with the $10. That was highly thoughtful of you. I appreciate you. But you can sponsor these shows for as low as 99 cents. Our goal this month is $275. We're up to $100, $110 now. So shout out to all the support. If you share, if you like, if you hit, all of that is helping. Thank you. All right. So again, everything you need, all the resources you need, they're all available at manofprestige.com. So today we're going to get into it, and let's get back to some of the reactions that we've been going through. I think today we'll wrap up this topic, and then we'll revisit it in the future later on. But at least you'll remember that we tackled it. Without any further ado, let's get started. Let's go. We offer evidence-based relationship and marriage resources and coaching to help you navigate the difficult times.
Don't just wing it. Learn the principles that work.
Download our 2 free books and book your complimentary coaching session now at manofprestige.com. All right, welcome back. So if you're just coming in, do me a favor, hit the like button. Let's ping everybody else into the room with the like button. I appreciate you. I'm going to get right through this. First of all, silent treatment. Silent treatment in a marriage is when one spouse withdraws communication and affection as a form of punishment or to express anger. All right. And this can involve refusing to talk. That's usually refusing to talk, make eye contact, or be physically affectionate. Now, affection can show up in different forms. Maybe you stop eating the food, you stop doing things you would normally do for your spouse, like very obvious things you would normally do for them. You stop doing it. When you do that, you will train the other person to start doing things like that. So if they don't know what they're doing or they don't have a support system, they will operate from a place of emotions, because like I said yesterday, there's a lot of confusion that comes with that becomes the impact that comes with this kind of behavior. There's a lot of confusion in it. Let me see if I can pull that up. There are 10 emotions, right, that we covered yesterday. Let me pull that to the screen. That becomes the impact, emotional impact of silent treatment, or keeping malice, as we call it in Nigeria, or holding a grudge against your romantic partner, particularly in marriage. Okay, I'm talking about marriage. There are 10 emotions that we recognized yesterday: confusion, frustration, sadness, anxiety, anger, self-doubt, fear, insecurity, powerlessness, isolation. Imagine imagine all of this going on in your marriage at the same time. Imagine try to pretend like everything is normal in the space of that space. Nothing good can come out of it. It's only a matter of time. It's a matter of when. Okay, that marriage is moving in the direction of destruction. Now, I get it. Some very traditional people can actually pull this off for a long time. Maybe 7 years, 8 years, as we saw somebody testified on Auntie B's platform, right? But listen, like I always say, when it comes to chopping breakfast, nobody goes scot-free when somebody's chopped breakfast. It's not free. Okay, there's trauma. There's trauma to the emotions of a person, the mindset of a person when they go through or chop unnecessary breakfast back to back to back. Oftentimes, the tricky part about that is that, yeah, you just got away with it. You just left. But there's a reason why you left that situation. It becomes trauma. It becomes additional layers of things that would tamper with trust in your future relationships, even beyond romantic relationships. So imagine confusion, frustration, right? So if you're nursing it and you stay in that situation and you're not doing anything about it, particularly with yourself, because you're attracting this for a reason. If you don't do something about it, hurt people will hurt people, right? You will come up with cookie cutter solutions in the future, thinking that you went scot-free, but you're going to tamper with your future relationships. Potentially, you will train others wrong tactics. You will get on the internet, social media, you start running your mouth because you feel like you've gathered some wisdom. Unfortunately, all of us, we're going into romantic relations. The reason why we enjoy it is because we're vulnerable, right? And we still need to be vulnerable, right? And if you have a lot of damages to your heart, it's not easy. It gets a lot more difficult to come out of that hole. So, no, you don't go scot-free. Once you've been emotionally, mentally abused in a relationship and you left and you thought, oh, I'm free. Not exactly, sorry. So then you need some kind of healing. Marriott says, this topic is serious. So part 4, yes, it's serious. Welcome, Marriott. It's serious. So, but yes, let's talk about it. So again, silent treatment is when one spouse withdraws. Usually what happens is that the other person will eventually, because it becomes a pattern, the other person will learn how to just leave him alone or leave her alone, and then they stay in that funk longer than they expect. Then they even forgot what started it in the first place. Then it becomes normalized. Then they start training their kids how to behave the same way. Yeah, the cycle continues. All right, so let's get back to this reaction. We are at 1 hour and 12, and that's all we're going to spend some time on today, and just react. Somebody said, no, mind Auntie B is passing the teachings as well to his children, and it will be passed down to his generation. The abnormal becomes normal. Good luck to his generation. Interesting.
God creates.
God creates. God creates. Brother Ben, welcome. How are you?
We have Brother Ben's submission now.
Lady Oge said that he saw on Dr. Sushala's page a woman who didn't carry since 2019.
Did you hear that?
Dr. Sushala's page in the Bible.
Fix your audio. Uncle Beno is
echoing.
Is echoing, yeah. You have 2 devices open?
No. You still
We're
hear the
hearing
echo.
ourselves. Yes. Maybe use headphones or something. Let me come to Monica while you fix your.
What if you could explore innovative tax strategies without any risk at all? Hi, my name is Carlotta Thompson, and yes, I'm a former IRS small business auditor. I'm also a tax strategy expert with over 20 years of experience. And after spending years seeing people's lives ruined by the IRS.
Audio. Okay. Monica Fernandez. Hello, darling.
Auntie B for life. We like call you Auntie B of Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
Which one am I going to call you now? Auntie B to the world.
To the world.
I'm telling you, you're rocking it.
Cynthia is not here. She should have called me
happy birthday.
I'm not going to mention it.
And to all the ladies that went with you, God bless you all.
Amen.
I hope you enjoyed your day. Although I checked your video, so you enjoyed it. No need to ask.
The enjoyment was on another level, my dear.
That's nice. It's good. It's good to celebrate nice birthday.
Yes.
Beautiful memories.
Yes, so thank you. We are talking about the issue of malice.
Let's increase the speed a little bit.
Let me start from the podcast. You know, there's a podcast that's going to scatter Nigeria. Is that we are getting there.
Yeah.
Yvonne is a very sweet person, but I guess she over talked that day.
She was carried away.
Yes, she has never been in any kind of thing like this. She carries herself in a kind of way. But this one, like, since it's the first time, I believe people should just forgive her. She miss Nyan, as we say it in Nigeria. She mistalk.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. You see that malice thing.
Yeah.
Now, it's only somebody that has never been with a man or a woman that keep malice. I would say, it's just malice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just malice. Because sometimes it's even the man or the woman that offends you, and they use the malice to manipulate the other person that is not used to that silent treatment.
Mm-hmm.
You end up begging them upon the nonsense that they did because you're not used to it. And he actually affects you psychologically. It's not a good thing. I can remember many times that I have to apologize for what I did not do for my ex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I can't stay in the house without talking. I like talking.
Yeah.
I can't stay without talking to my partner now.
Yeah.
So that's really, I can say it's demonic.
All right, so let's dissect that real quick before we continue. Right, so she's talking about the apology. If you remember when Auntie B was here yesterday, we talked about the apology thing. She said, she was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, when I asked her what would she do, she was like, okay, I'm sorry, and then kind of like draw the person closer, show some affection, right? There is that, but there's also somebody who feels still the same. It's apology, right? There's still somebody who feels like, oh God, I can't do this. I can't be in the house. Let me just. They're doing it, and then they're doing that, and then it's accompanied with resentment, right? So if we go by the vibes that Auntie B gave yesterday, which some people are capable of doing, they understand they're coming from a place of abundance. They say, oh, he's upset from yesterday, and they kind of like hug up their spouse and say, okay, I'm sorry, right? That person doesn't necessarily have to have resentment because they are coming from an empowered place, right? And if you remember yesterday, I was saying the apology is not really, it's just, we call it apology, but it's just basically opening your arms and then embracing them back into your bosoms, right? But there's the person that's feeling trapped in that situation, and they know that this person is capable of going for days, if not weeks and months, if they don't. That person might apologize temporarily for a while, but it's coming with a lot of resentments. One day they're going to say, you know what, enough is enough. But usually at that point, remember that all those resentments, somebody has to pay for those resentments. They're not free, right? So I just wanted to point that out. So that's the difference between what this young lady just said. I don't know if she's young, but this lady, let me say this lady. This lady just said, and the difference between what Auntie B said yesterday. There's apology and there's apology, right? So one is like somebody is holding a gun to your head to apologize. The other one is like, you already feel like it's not a big deal, it's just upset, right? So, but eventually one becomes the other, right? So it's not something we just say we don't want to encourage. That's why some people will say RCB is just malice. If you've experienced it and you don't really care for it, you just depend on how you receive it, depends on who you are as a person. Some people can't stand it. So, and you never know if you're married to a person that really they're just pretending. They really can't stand it. They have resentment. They've had to apologize multiple times for something that they didn't do, as she put it. That's resentment. Let's keep going.
They need deliverance. People that can keep malice. If you are here and you can actually keep malice for this, just change. It's not good. Just stay your mind. Pick it out that moment. This is what, if you can't say it because you're angry, wait till the anger gets down and speak it out. Tell your partner what you did is not good. You guys should resolve it.
Yeah.
Imagine
Not sleep in a hotel.
That one has another agenda. He just want to provoke the woman so that he can get away with some of the things he wants to do. Maybe he has planned to get away before. So you just need to provoke the woman so he can have access.
Yeah.
How can you leave your house? Okay, you can't sleep in the parlor. You can't sleep in the children's room. You can't. I beg. That one has another thing.
The outside
that
chick
he has planned
that's going
before.
to sleep in a hotel with. He never tell us the truth.
He planned it. That way he knows. He already knows his wife or the husband. I don't know who is doing that. He knows his partner. So
I want to introduce you to Talkify. It is the #1 matchmaking company in America with over 200.
He knows how to.
All right. So you see how she said. If you need to take some time and come back and talk about it, yes, that's a good advice, right? I'm afraid that people that participate in this kind of behavior, they often have a difficult time seeing that they did anything wrong in the first place, right? They shut down because they're actually upset with you that you're wrong, right? That's some of the people, right? So the idea that person is coming back to come and now revisit the conversation, not only do they lack the skill to understand that marriage is not for the timid, it's actually an institution and you have to take care of it. You have to have structure in place. They are just winging things along like, I'm upset, you're wrong, I shut down. They're not talking to you and they're not coming back tomorrow to revisit the conversation because they're already convinced that you're wrong anyway. Right? So they approach things from a standpoint of right and wrong. So that kind of person now, if you advise them that if you're upset, just because they say, I don't want to revisit that stuff, he's wrong. I don't want to hear it. Right? So you're accompanying that with even more wala, So yeah, it's a very, very these people that we're advising, oftentimes they've made up their mind that they are right and they cannot be wrong. They might not put it in those words, but they don't. It's like they don't care until they hit rock bottom. Okay, so just keep that at the back of your mind so that you can manage your expectations. David says, I'm currently keeping malice with my partner and I really don't care. The bedroom business is the cause. Every time she's tired. And to me, this is sexual abuse. Every time she apologizes, but keep doing it. It became so bad that she signed an undertaking admitting she's in the wrong. To me, this is sexual abuse. I'm sorry that you feel that way, David. I'm sorry that you're going through that. But let me look at your comment very well. Okay, because there's a disconnect somewhere. It's a disconnect somewhere. The part where you say, I really don't care. Are you trying to convince me that you don't care?
Don't care, still don't care. I don't care, I don't care.
Tell me how much you don't care, please. Tell me more about how much you don't care. Because that one disconnected everything, unfortunately. All right. But tell me more about that. I need to hear more of that story. But I'm sorry you're going through that. Let's say the bedroom business is the cause. Every time she's tired. Okay, so when a woman is tired, right, it's probably safe for you to assume that she doesn't want to have sex with you. Right? A person that wants to have sex with you will not be tired. Okay? you need to first of all identify the actual problem, not what she says, not what you're interpreting from the blue balls, because blue balls you can't think straight if you're not getting sex. So I understand that very well too, right? So you need to sit back and really, first of all, acknowledge that this person does not want to have sex with me. Because if you don't get that right, other interpretations you give after that will be wrong, right? So if you are living with a woman, a wife who doesn't want to have sex with you, then we can address it from that standpoint. If you're not willing to admit that, everything else after that will be wrong. She's just your enemy. And now I'm convinced to say, if that's your enemy, why are you married to your enemy? Don't you think you should probably find your way out of that marriage? Right? Why would she want to punish you with sex? If you say she is, if you conclude she is, I will have to agree with you. But why do you want to stay with somebody that's punishing you with sex? Don't you think that's punishing yourself? And if it's so bad that you have to come and tell me on a public platform like this, that's where the disconnect, I really don't care, comes in. You care. Because that's why you just type the whole thesis out. You do care. And it's okay to care. Right? And to me, this is sexual abuse. Well, that's not what they call sexual abuse, but it's emotional abuse. Okay? You can call it emotional abuse. If she's living with you and she doesn't make a move, she cannot pretend that she doesn't know that that's abuse. Right? She knows that this is something you're looking forward to, but not sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is another topic entirely. Okay? Every time she apologizes, but she keeps doing it. Yeah, because she keeps not wanting to have sex with you. I know it's a harsh truth, but that's the reality. A person that wants to have sex with you, even when they're tired, they will have sex with you because they want sex. Right? Let's see here. She signed an undertaking admitting that she's wrong. Yeah, she's probably struggling with that bad habit. She has a bad habit. She's struggling with it. So she signed an undertaking, right? But these are emotional issues. So I don't know what the undertaking was supposed to do. Really, the goal, what you're looking for is a woman that you're married to who wants to have sex with you. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for an undertaking. So the undertaking is like, let's just give him what he wants. So maybe you seized something. Maybe you did silent treatment. Maybe she's trying to beg you to talk to her. Maybe she can't stand. So she signed the undertaking. She said, okay, all right, leave me alone. But the reality kicks back in at some point. The reality is that she doesn't want to have sex with you. She's not attracted to having sex with you. And it's not necessarily about you. Right? Attraction is not necessarily about you. Right? It could be medical reasons. Maybe she just had a baby not too long ago. Maybe her hormones are all over the place. Maybe she's fucking somebody else. I know, it's harsh. We don't know unless we first of all acknowledge that she doesn't want to have sex with you. These are the issues. So he says, so to fight back, I hold back malice. And if what I'm doing is bad, I care not. It's sexual abuse versus mental abuse. No, you do care because you just typed the whole thesis for me and I have to go by your actions, not what you say, right? And when you are keeping malice, you also punish yourself. Okay, let me read a short excerpt from the article I'm going to release as a solution to this whole problem at the end of this week. All right. The beginning of it says, all right, here we go. Now, let's be clear from the get-go, this is not about shutdowns or withdrawals that happen within 24 hours or less to de-escalate arguments. In this video coaching session, we are only dealing with stonewalling that extends beyond 24 hours. Trigger warning for the victim-shaming detectives. If you are a victim of silent treatment for 24 hours or longer, multiple times over the course of your relationship, you have either participated in and or enabled the behavior. You might have felt like you had no other choice because you're dealing with a coconut head. Not so easy. That's your partner. The victim or perpetrator of these manipulative behaviors are just as affected. They both suffer. If children are involved, they, unfortunately suffer too. When you chop breakfast or you dish breakfast, both of you suffer. You might not see it right now. In the long run, it will show up. Okay? So, I care not is a disconnect from your actions, brother. I don't care for those who automatically think keeping malice is bad. You care. Yes, still come.
Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care. I don't. I don't care.
You're still trying to convince me. You know, by automatically, you know you are right, right? That's when it comes to your feelings, you're right.
You're right.
Yeah, but you're caught up in your feelings. That's why you're saying that. Only people that get caught up in their feelings, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. That's your feelings talking. It's okay. You're right. Your feelings are valid. But me, I'm here to tell you that you too, you suffer. At least we can agree that you have blue balls. Can we agree on that? This is where I would say the lawyer is around the corner. I completely get you, Uncle Beno. You know, that's why I'm asking. At some point, you have to help some people, like, see the reality. Why are you living with a person that doesn't want to have sex with you? And especially, you two, you're shutting down. That means you're punishing yourself, double whammy. You're living with a romantic lover you can't talk to. And you're trying to convince me on the internet that you don't care. That's third level of punishing yourself. Baba. Not like she doesn't want to have sex. She wants it only when she's willing to. Baba, she doesn't want to have sex. No. You're arguing with your destiny, and that's sad. I feel sorry, you know, for both of you, for you and your partner. But you can do something about it. Unfortunately, especially if you're a Nigerian man, you don't see outside of common sense. You think everything is your own idea of logic, and you discount emotions. And here, everything you're saying is your emotions, unfortunately. If she has sex only when she feels like, and not every other day, if she doesn't want to fuck the shit out of you every week, she doesn't want to have sex with you. And that is a temporary thing. That doesn't have to be permanent. But if you're not open to solutions, it's permanent. If you're coming up with solutions from common sense, it's permanent. Okay? And then, Uncle Beno will remind you, the lawyer is around the corner, because eventually, if you don't do the lawyer fast enough, she will get to it faster than you. Yeah. So, shout out to you, David. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Hello, Ernestina. Ernestina said, my husband is currently keeping malice with me. All right, so look forward to solutions. I will share another video. We will give you solutions for that. But if your husband is keeping malice, like I just read to you, you're participating or enabling it. That doesn't mean it's your fault. When we don't do faults, we're just telling you the reality of what's going on, okay? Because it could be as simple as go and kiss him. Why won't you go and kiss him? You don't want rejection? You have fear of rejection? Well, now you are effectively participating in it, okay? So just so you know, this is where we can accurately say it takes two to tango. You're in the funk of it together, okay? But you can also start a new direction if you want. If you're open, you can start a new direction. Let's keep going. Thank you for you guys sharing. Thank you. This is a big deal. Like I said, it's an epidemic and it's happening everywhere. And, you know, if it's happening to you or you're doing it, something will break at some point. So don't think you're just going to sit in it. I don't care. No, something will break, and that thing will break. So you will start to care. You will suddenly realize you cared all along. Don't wait until that. Do something about it. If that person has enough value for them to be in your house, they're taking care of your children, or you're taking care of their children, then there's enough value for you to build on top of. Okay? Unless we're talking about there's some involvement or something that involves life and death. Par your feelings. All right, let's keep going.
To trigger the person and just leave the house for some days. You understand? Go and sleep. You don't have parlor in your house. You don't have second room. You don't have the children's room. Come on now. The smallest flats most people have is 2 rooms. Go to the other room. If you have children, go to their room.
Yeah.
Going to an hotel, that one is that one a free getaway. He has planned a romantic getaway and he just left the house because of. I don't believe that one. That's
And
not
now people are
innocent.
saying, a lot of people, that because Yvonne said that she's the type that would date married men because she was.
Before we get into that next one, she says she doesn't believe that the person will go to an hotel room. I hate to bust your bubbles, ladies. I hate to bust your bubbles. One of my best friends, as in we've been friends for 20, how long is 1999? 25 years. Okay? Was in this situation. Okay? And I'll tell you the story for free. Okay? For free. Just because my best friend doesn't mean he wasn't trying to meet somebody at the hotel. Again, like I said, if you're doing Mali's treatment and all this kind of stuff, you will open doors for the devil to come in. Just how it works, you know. At least one person is going to start wondering. But in this case, he was quite upset. I just randomly checked on him. You know, everybody's busy, right? I just randomly checked on him and, what's going on, buddy? You know, let me find a name for him. Let's call him Brad. He's a Niger guy. Niger people are not Brad, so let's call him Brad. So I was like, what's going on, Brad? What's going on? Long time, man. How far? Where you did? Baba, I'm so upset right now. I did inside a hotel room. Why? Why are you in a hotel room? I think I'm tired. I think I'm tired of my marriage. My wife, she's crazy. But my wife is lovely. But her mother is crazy. Like, wait, what do you mean her mother is crazy? And then he started to tell me the story. I was like, where are you right now? I was like, I'm just so tired, man. I just, like, I could hear in his voice that he was having a mental breakdown. Yes. He was having a mental breakdown. He left the house for her. All right. Not just her, the mother-in-law was also in the house. Right. The mother-in-law will come from another country in South America. And we just come and basically she felt quite stuck between, and there's a lot of controlling activities coming from her, and he felt like he was fighting a whole lot of people. This was earlier days of this. So he didn't know that I was into this. So I said, where you are right now, I just knew because I've felt that feeling before, like a mental breakdown. You feel like everything's shut down. You feel like you're losing your cool, like, because you really want to do the right thing, but you're not getting across to your wife because there's other forces happening at the same time. You know, so and I said, where you are, and then it was within 30 minutes. I said, I'll meet you there right now. I went over to the hotel room and I met him, and just to hear him out. Okay, that's all, to hear him out. And I said, hey, just calm down. This is just now. This is all temporary. But if you just stay calm, okay, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. The problem with those kind of moments is that when you're in the heat of it, it feels like heaven is going to fall out of the skies. Because you know what they call anxiety. Your chest will be beating fast. You're angry, right? All this kind of stuff. So when somebody is giving quote unquote silent treatment, or they left the house, like a lot of men are trained, hey, grab your keys. I learned that from my father. Grab your keys and get out of the house if you're getting to that stage, right? But it's a temporary thing. My father, when I was growing up, would actually grab the keys, go and play draft. He used to play draft a lot. When he comes back, it's late night, things are a little bit calmer, but he comes back that day, right? So in this case, my friend went to the hotel room, actually checked into an hotel room, and he was ready to stay there for however long. That's how he felt in that moment. So no, it's not like, no, we're not just going to be dismissive and say, we know how these conversations can get. Women, Obìnrin, you can get to people in that way. Okay? Obìnrin. You can get to them in that way, where he felt the need. So we're just going to assume that he went there, oh, he's been planning a getaway before that argument that day. No, that's an easy getaway. Is that possible? Yes. If you've seen that on a consistent basis, maybe he's been doing that. Maybe he's been meeting. But I'm saying, not so quick. We're not just going to say, hey, he's just going to run to the hotel and meet a girl there. Is it that easy to just be meeting a random girl if that wasn't your behavior before? Right? A guy who does that probably doesn't care like that. He probably would, like, he was going to do that anyway. If you argue with your destiny. We're not talking about those kind of guys. We're talking about somebody who actually cares. Somebody who is in a conversation with you. He got frustrated because both of you got frustrated and he felt like he was too angry and he went and checked into a hotel room because he can afford it. Wait, he can afford it and we're living in a 2-bedroom. Actually, my friend was in a 2-bedroom apartment. He can afford it. He was actually looking for houses. It was one of the things I was helping him with at the time. So, not so quick. We're not just going to say, hey, every time they go to a hotel room, like that's another way of burying the real issues, right? Most likely he's going to come home the following day. Maybe not. If he stays out there for days, then the issues are just that deep. Can he go out there and participate in bad behavior? Yes. But that's not the issue. The issue is what we should focus on. Silent treatment. Right? And yes, a lot of men are trained to grab their key and go somewhere. So if he had a little money in his pocket, if he wanted to spend $100 for the night and just stay and have some peace of mind, maybe watch some sports in a hotel room. That's not far-fetched. Let's not act like that's like extra. It's not far-fetched. I just want to address that real quick. Let's keep going. So that's a personal situation that I've seen before. So, and if there's one like that, there's a good chance there's a couple thousand people that have done that before. If it's a consistent thing, now if somebody comes onto a YouTube and say proudly that that's what they do, that person has problems. Okay, because I think it was somebody chatted that in the chat, and the person was using it to justify silent treatment. Silent treatment cannot be justified. It can't be justified. There's no need to justify it. We're talking about emotional matters between you and your wife. Nobody is right and wrong here. Both of you are wrong if you choose wrong. Both of you are right if you choose right. What you're looking for is to keep your home together. Right? If you make her wrong, that makes you automatically wrong. If you manage to make it happen and she believes she's wrong, you collect. Because that's not going to be that simple. Okay? Let's keep going. Let's go.
I was talking about money quite a lot too on the podcast. While she was talking about game, if I ask you for 500,000, give me 2 million. You know,
the fact that she married, not the first time she married for love, right? I'm not on the side of Yvonne. Mostly when it comes to that your matter, no.
Let's get out of
she
this
didn't
Yvonne
put that
stuff.
one away. But the fact that she married the first time for love, we don't expect. That's human nature. You don't expect her to go and look for love again for the second time. She will always like, okay, well, love did not work. Let me go for money. That's a natural human psyche. That's how a lot of human beings, that's how we think. If you married for love before, the love show you shaggy. You won't go for love the second time. You want to love, but the love should have money. You understand? There are plenty millions that she's calling. Maybe she has somebody that's giving her millions like that. She's beautiful. Yvonne is a black beauty. So, but anytime she goes to podcast again, she should write what she's going to say. If they ask her a question that will take her to where she don't know, let her say no.
let me tell you something. Part of social skills, yeah. Money for
Yeah.
if you're going to talk in a public space, either as a celebrity, whatever position you hold, part of the social skills that we need to know is that it not be everything one person they think.
Of course, now you have to have reserve.
Do you understand? Just because you are thinking, it doesn't mean you have to say it. There are some things that it's better for you to just leave it in your mind. You can discuss it with your girlfriends. You can discuss it with people that are close to you. You don't need to go and say it out there. And the way these Nigerian girls talk about money is so tacky, it is, I don't know, it comes off as, poverty mindset. That's why I say it.
It is poverty
But
mindset.
that's what the politicians are using to catch them.
I understand.
The way they throw money to people. The way they throw money to people.
It's poverty mindset. Ladies, just know this. If it's all about money, it's poverty mindset. And it might not be your fault that you're operating from a place of poverty mindset. I've seen people say, oh, have your own money. We've tackled that here before. It's nonsense. That's not the issue, okay? It might make it easier if you have access to resources, but that's not the issue. Money only multiplies your reality. The same thing with sex, gentlemen. If you think everything is about sex, and you can't operate from a place of seduction is not always about sex. Seduction, whenever I use it here, I'm talking about your ability to influence the results you desire, right? If you don't operate from a place of attraction, and that means you can get carried away by sex. That's literally what simping means. You spend all your money just because you want sex. And there's a lot of men that are victims of this. Same thing with women. If you money, you can get carried away by money. Then you end up in a toxic situation and come back and complain to us here. So I just want you to know that it's not as simple as sex or money. Those are icing on the cake for romantic relationships. Those are supposed to be byproducts of solid relationships. Those are things you're supposed to enjoy. You shouldn't be leading with them. Those things should not be leading you, right? Your small head, gentlemen, should not be leading you. It does lead us, but that's where self-control comes in. That's where you have to position yourself, make sure you're protected, make sure you stay safe out there, because those two things are the reasons why we have some serious calamities in the world. Sex, money, and then maybe you can add power to that. Okay, let's keep going.
They don't do local league anymore. They still do it, but now they won't charge bodies from the America and send them money even before they land.
I know. All that is happening, I'm aware. But we're talking to women ourselves, as women, how you can present yourself as a woman who's got dignity.
Of course. Even if you like money.
Don't put price tag on your body.
Why is she so adamant about even if you like money? Is there any person that doesn't like money? Like even men? This is another example of telling us what we already know. So if you're telling us what we already know, you're not solving the problems. Even if, why is she adamant if you like money? Like that keeps coming up. She's trying to say, hey, you carry yourself with dignity, some self-respect, so you can accord certain level of respect from men. That's what she's trying to say. Because honestly, it's so true across the board. How you carry yourself is how people are going to see you. How you dress is how you're going to be addressed. Do we not know this? Why are we so disconnected from that? Does that mean you have to go and be buying Gucci shoes and red bottoms? No. You're overthinking the simple stuff. We're just talking about the basic level. Keep it simple. I don't know. How do I explain this? Because now I'm sounding like I'm contradicting myself. Keep it simple, okay? As regular human being to human being, if we drop into a cave, what will make me attract you, okay? Considering we're emotional beings and social beings. That's the core of who we are. Our relationship with money is based off of emotions, like sociology, right? It's as simple as that. Without more money having the value that you can exchange goods and value, is useless. Until a sovereign country says this thing has value, it has no value. It's just currency. The value of the money is what you can buy with it. That's why we're struggling with inflation and Niger currency and all that kind of stuff. If you don't have any value to bring to the table, short term, it might feel like you have a lot. With time, we'll be able to tell if you're just empty barrel, making the loudest noise. That's what Auntie B is talking about. So there's no need to keep it, even if you like money. I'm here. Shout out to the young lady. I'm just saying, okay? No, forget the money stuff, okay? Gentlemen, you like sex? The best sex is with one person who really want to have that sex with you. Okay? You can do multiple, but as long as they want to have it with you. It's the best sex. And I still think it's best if you have a person who is just heads over here. For an average man, one person. That's all you need. One person. Not all of the Oloshos that you're obsessed with shaming on the internet. Just one person that wants to have sex with you all the time. It's all you need. That's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, stop getting carried away by money and sex. Short term, I understand you. I feel you. Let me build them. Show me they build. They're tapping into your emotions. With that, long term, you need to deal with the real life. What value do you have to bring to the table? Not what you say, what the right people can see, that they can observe on their own. And definitely not money and sex. By the way, money and sex has their own value too, but they tend to be short term. Let's keep going.
Of course, even if you like money, there are ways you do it.
Because it's all about...
Pardon my manners. Let me come to the chat. Oh, sorry about that. Sparkleberry, welcome. Sparkleberry says, she's always apologizing. Have you explored past trauma? The word always, that's a good point. The thing is, David said, the thing is, you're not, okay, you're talking to David. You're not even sure if she meant the apology. No, she doesn't. David, you picked that up right. No, she doesn't. She's just trying to get past your complaint. You're complaining, and that turns her off more. Down there gets drier and drier the more you complain about sex. I know. It's a vicious cycle, right? Yep. The more you complain about not having sex, the drier she gets. Oh my show. Because of the repetitiveness or the pattern of recurrence, no past trauma. No, you don't know that. That's the coconut head that says no past trauma. First of all, everybody has past trauma. The question is that if those past trauma are creating an impact on your situation. But if you shut your mind off that there's no past trauma, see, we can get to the solutions. We knew each other for over 20 years. Konitumo. It doesn't matter. Not in this respect, at least. Sparkleberry says, you may think you know someone, but what you know is what they have allowed you access to. Either way, you should explore therapy or ask her. No, explore personal development. Explore personal improvement. Self-improvement for yourself first. Okay? That's what you should explore first. There's something about you. I can already read it, even in your submission, David. There's something particularly about you that's attracting that situation. That does not translate to that's your fault, because I know that's what you hear in your head for the most part when I say that. It just means you have an opportunity to take responsibility for the results that you desire. There's an opportunity there. That's what it means. Okay? All right. Uncle Beno says you may have to do a self-evaluation of yourself. Awesome. I love that. And find opportunity to take her to she feels happy. Then open the conversation. Yes, she must be in a place where she's right now. She's been signing, undertaking and stuff. She's probably built more walls around that. A woman who doesn't feel heard, everything will shut off. You cannot penetrate anything. You cannot penetrate her mind. You cannot penetrate her body. It just gets worse. Okay, and she's probably counting down days. One day she will gain enough courage to pull that trigger on her own. That doesn't mean that there's no small feelings left. It's temporary. Remember, it's all feelings. That does not mean that you don't have something you can work with. But if you shut your mind off the possibilities that you don't know what you're doing, this is a problem. Now, that's the biggest of all problems. Close-mindedness. Okay. So I hope you're really paying attention to all of this. Shout out to all the people responding to you. Everything is good from the home front, kids, jobs, everyone doing great. But the fact that she decide when we have sex is unacceptable for me. Even if not main, you can go oral. That woman will not let you do sexual intercourse. You want her to do oral. Baba. Yeah. Good luck with that. Okay. You want her to put your dick in her mouth, and she doesn't even want to allow you to penetrate. Okay, well, maybe you have something that's out of the norm. Maybe, probably not, because what you're telling us is you don't have any of it. It's better to keep an open mind, bro. Listen, gentlemen, especially let me talk to you, gentlemen. It's okay when we don't know what we're doing. It's okay in our professional world, right? Let's make it okay in marriage too. Like, it's okay, right? Nobody knows it all anyway, right? But the next person next to you, you might be the one coaching them in other aspects of life, but they might be able to coach you on this particular aspect of life. Because clearly your result says you can't figure something out. When you're confused, it's time to learn something new. It's an opportunity. Feel me? It's an opportunity. Remember, not your fault. We're not talking about something is your fault. We're saying you're not getting the result that you want. It's an opportunity for you to take responsibility, figure it out, get what you want and take credit for it. How's that? And then sell the solution to other people for money. How's that? It's a great opportunity, right? No, sex is not right. It's not. I know you went to the church and then they gave you, Bible, and then you said to death do us part, and you did all that nice stuff. Okay, about 50% of them in all societies are ending up in the divorce courts. That's the reality, right? And I can say that to you as a gentleman. Like, listen, hear me. You can be logical. Think about it. Take your time to think about it, right? In your professional world, you either get results or you don't get results. If I'm not getting results, there's a reason. I'm going to figure it out so I can learn it and then use the solution over and over again and then sell it to other people with money. Possibly, maybe not. Maybe you just want to be a charity. You advise one brother next to you and then he solves his own problem too, right? How sweet would that be? As opposed to, let me shut it down. There's nothing there. I've known her for 20 years. There's nothing there. Baba, there's always something you don't know about a person who is another human being. No, let me slow down. There's always something you don't know about yourself. When you get put in the middle of crisis, when you're at your lows of lows, is when you start to discover some things you didn't know about yourself. And you've been living with yourself all your life. How much more another human being? Let's think about it. Let me use Baba Okonlawo on TikTok. Think about it. You get it? Anyway, Uncle Bedo say there is a deep issue going on. It could be medical, it could be physiological. Absolutely. There's something deeper than your own idea of logic. Uncle Bedo say you're not the problem, and I will expect you to blame her too. It could be hormones. That shit mess people feelings up sexually at times. Yep. It gets rough. And your natural inclination is to blame her. I get that too. Because the blue balls is not anybody's mate. Okay. My suspicion, David says, my suspicion is that she's feeling too comfortable. And I'm regretting being a responsible man. It's like, oh, he can't go elsewhere. He doesn't like playing ground. She's not thinking that far. You're giving her too much credit. Okay. She simply doesn't want to have sex with you right now, not forever. Okay, right now she doesn't want to be intimate. There's something deeper than let me just punish him going on. Because think about it, I want to have sex, but I'm going to punish him and go and use vibrator. Go hard up. It's not hardening up. Right? It's not hardening up. Right? There's something, if you understand how complex the human brain is, you will receive it. Please. All right? Please receive. Think about it. Just think about it. Your brain, my brain, is not as simple as your idea of logic. Somebody is getting comfortable. That does not make you wrong about that, by the way. People do get comfortable in the midst of their own pain. Let me even shock you. Right? It's painful for them. They'll get comfortable there. That's why sometimes I might want to agree that maybe they're weaponizing it. It's still painful for them, but they'll rather deal with that pain than the other type of pain. Right? So, and you're right also, C-finish can enter. They take you for granted. Why? How did C-finish enter? Wait, are you saying she's not attracted to me because I'm always available? Yes. And there are skill sets you can learn around that. Right? Yes, possibly. So you're not necessarily wrong, but please don't simplify it to she just wants to hurt you. That's what I'm saying. Don't simplify it to that. Don't oversimplify it, because we're not that, human brain is not that simple, sadly. And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just is. That's just the reality. And I'm regretting, okay, I already covered that. Sparkleberry say, David, like MOP will say you're right, but you need to communicate and ask how she would like it. That person is shut down. I think he needs to engage himself first. I see what you meant now. Talk to MOP. Yeah, hit me up behind the scenes, bro. Hit me up. ask@manofprestige.com. That's the email. I'm with you. That comfortable line, I swear 100% agree with you on that one. Once you are a good guy and take care of business, women often took advantage of that. So our conclusion with the good guy thing is that being a good guy is not enough. Sorry. If you get stuck in your own I'm a good guy thingy when it comes to romantic relationships, especially marriage, you collect.
Sorry.
It will shock you. Being a good guy, a good girl is not enough. That should be good enough for you. You should not attach entitlement for sex or money around it. you will regret it every time. Okay. David said, no wala sha, thanks, Uncle Beno. I appreciate you, David. I appreciate you for submitting, and I appreciate Uncle Beno too. It's vice versa. Some women take advantage, and so do some men. When some men see good women, then go pick. It's a natural human phenomenon. We all take for granted anything that's readily available. Okay. Let me teach you something. You see that banner? No, not banner. Like a whole billboard that's sitting right next to your house, or 1 block or 2 blocks away from your house. That one that was there when you moved in there 15 years ago, that you no longer pay attention to anymore because you've seen it so much. Somebody said, yeah, by the billboard. And I said, what billboard? By the billboard, that billboard, I'm right there. But billboard next to your house, there's a billboard next to my house. Oh, that's not that you don't see it. Right? This is a natural human. If it's always sitting in that same spot, there's a good chance you're not paying attention to it the longer it is. Right? You take it for granted. Until one day the thing is removed. Maybe they wiped a building away from your block. And you're like, wait, something is missing here. What was here before? You never had that experience before? It's a natural human. This is learn human behavior. These things will become easier for you. You will stop making assumptions that what you see is what you get. Okay? It's often deeper than what you can see, hear, or touch. You're fighting forces beyond what you can touch and feel and touch with physically. Just assume that. And basically what that means is make no assumptions. Listen actively. There's something that's missing there somewhere. So taking each other for granted, we call it complacency in marriage. Oh yes, inevitable, right? But once you go through this poto small, right? And you manage to attract your partner to come through a journey of coaching with you so you can learn how to do it right. Once you go through that, right? Then your eyes are open, right? And then you can be a little bit more intentional with complacency. It will still happen, but you are aware. You are aware, like, babe, I know I haven't taken care of you. Like, I got you, babe. I got you. You'll be coming from a more intentional place as opposed to, I beg, I don't have time for that. I be you say, you take me for granted. You want to punish me. Now it's you against your partner. At that point, that mindset, it's going to go down the hill. It's going to go downhill. It's going to get worse and worse. Once you pick them directly, indirectly, subconsciously as your enemy, it's a wrap. The devil has won. Whatever the devil is, has won at that point in time. So, just keep that at the back of your mind. But I have to finish this studio. We haven't heard Uncle Beno on that recording though. I have to finish this studio. Alright. So, this is a natural phenomenon. So, I'll allow you guys to label it good woman or good man, whatever you mean by that. Okay? Because everybody is flawed anyway. Whatever you mean by good woman, good man, I know what you mean, but I'll allow you to label it. Because good men are never good enough. Yes, take that to the bank. You need skills. You need game. Okay? Uncle Beno, that summary of yours does not sell low. Women experience a lot of changes as they age. Effective communication is key to the survival of any relationship. You guys are saying all the same thing essentially at the end of the day. A whole hour late. Yes, Bagavard. How are you doing? Oral in that case doesn't mean mouth. Another angle. What do you mean oral? Perhaps wrong choice of word. I was in fact referring to hand job. Women are disgusted. If they don't want to have sex with you, they should be doing. Will you even enjoy it? If she's not into it and she's like, and she's doing like that to you, right? Will you even enjoy it? You won't have to be into it now. I know what you want, David. I have an idea of what you want. I have an idea of what you want, right? You want the full package. You don't want half-ass Kenny anyway. You won't have to be into it now. Trust me. There's something you don't know. Just trust me on that, okay? Life will not say, David, can you sign up for Ola one-on-one counseling? You get 30 minutes complimentary coaching before you sign up. You should also read Pastor K's book, How to Make Love to Your Wife Before Touching Her. Good point. Hey Tonya, how you doing? Like. What did you miss? A lot so far. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Uncle Beno says, Sparkleberry, agreed though, you're right. But I do know some women take advantage of men who don't cheat and very faithful. If you don't cheat and you're not faithful, and let's add on top of that, this is like your own little accolade, your trophy that you take to the bank all the time. You will collect. You will not get enough sex. If you think somehow you're entitled because you don't cheat and you're faithful, it gets worse for you. It gets worse. All right. I'm literally agreeing with Uncle Beno and I'm hiding on top of it. Right? If you're entitled to the idea that you don't cheat and you are faithful and because of that she should just want to have sex with you. Baba, you're probably clingy and needy as shit. Okay? Yeah, you're probably needy and clingy because you don't leave the house. You sit in the same spot all the time. Okay? Your mates are cheating. I'm not encouraging cheating. Okay? You are in the same house. You are there, and now you are complaining about syphilis. Your stomach is up in the air all the time, and somehow you feel entitled to sex. Yeah. This is what it means. I can't blame Oberyn for that. That's just natural phenomenon. It's like, that's boring, bro. That's boring. As much as they want security or safety, if you want to call it that, as part of the human basic needs, right? Certainty, we can call it certainty. They like varieties. Number two, it's a contradiction, I know. As much as they want to be certain, my husband is going to come home and fix the bulb. He will pay the bills at the same time every day. They want varieties. God help you. And she's tired one day and you beg for sex. You're not capable of saying, you're tired of sex? That's crazy. What happened at work today, babe? You're tired? Okay. All right, go to bed. Let's talk about that tomorrow. Right? If you're like, it's your duty. Okay, I know it usually doesn't go down like that. Maybe one time you give it a pass. Okay, maybe there's more problems. Your balls could be smelling. Oh, listen, it could be so many things. We don't know, right? But you have to keep an open mind before you even go through that rabbit hole, right? But I smell nice. I've taken care of myself. Like, okay, maybe your mouth is like a little weapon. I don't know. Maybe she's just an evil woman who wants to punish you. I'm guessing that's where your mind is. It's possible. Most likely not. Most likely not. Most likely it's just like the rest of us. You go through that phase in your marriage. She has a lot going on. She's thinking about everything. Auntie B was talking about it on the show. I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago. That they wake up tired. We just like we sort the issue out to go sleep like a baby. They wake up tired, right? And then now it's time to talk, and she has to deal with. I haven't had. Well, she will settle for. You're gonna be all right. Some of them will even tell you, like, he's gonna go jack off in the bathroom. Leave me alone, Jerry. We'll do tomorrow, and then tomorrow will come. They'll do tomorrow again. We'll do tomorrow. Some people go like that. 20%. That's what the study shows. That's the only thing that's reported. We don't know the true numbers. 20% of marriages are in sexless marriages. So when you are telling me the story, either you're a man or you're a woman, of your frustration, I get it. You don't have to say much. I just have to listen to you. You don't have to say much before I get it, because I handle this all the time. Let's get through. I told you I have to cover some of this stuff. Told you. Yeah, life would not to say, on top of that, no skills. Shake my head. Tina says, my husband is giving me silent treatment, and it's because he believes I'm cheating on him, even though I'm not. Tina, the same thing we said to David goes for you. The same thing, it's just a little different. You need to seek wise counsel. Okay? You need to seek wise counsel. You probably lost yourself in that situation. You're probably busy trying to figure out what you're doing wrong. That's probably consuming all of your energy. You're walking on eggshells. You're confused, frustrated. And then you have to apologize. And then you're tired of apologizing. And now you're just living in it, hoping that something will just change one day. Well, nothing will change if you keep doing the same thing you're doing. You have to do something about it. Send me an email. All of you can send me an email and then we can talk about it. Ask at Man of Prestige right there on the screen. If she's turned off enough, she may even encourage you to go and do it with another woman. Yes! I hear that all the time, says more. Like, you know what? Leave me alone. Go and take care of yourself outside. That's a woman who is not interested at all. Like, she's open one day, okay, you're a good guy. Tell Lord, do hello me. I know it's confusing. What in this moral, with all our moral standard, I know all the morals, the values, all that stuff. Straight instead of the poto. I know. Welcome to the real world. Okay, go out there. They'll tell you in one shape or they'll tell you all the different stories out there. Most of them will wallow in telling themselves the problems. They don't have a solution. We have solutions here. Okay, let's get through this.
I mean, for me, it's coming from a place of poverty because you are talking of 2 million, or 500,000. When I checked the day that this issue of 500,000 or 20, is it 20 million? I don't even know how much safe that they call the money. 2 million. Is it 2 million or 20 million? If you check it in dollars and pounds, it's not a lot of money. So
it's not a lot of money when you exchange it.
Anybody can afford you as long as
a CRM shouldn't weigh your budget.
They have that money, so you don't care.
Let's see if we can fast it up a little.
You don't care if na kidnapper. You don't care if na bomo.
You see that the small girl, the cider whatever. That one she's still growing. Let's put it like that she's still growing. That one never gets sense. she not get sense. It will get to a point when she herself she'll watch a video. She'll be like, that's why they talk that time. You understand? Right now she's still growing. That one she's just a child.
It's a mindset that a lot of them have in Nigeria, unfortunately. Yeah, because you see, there's one other one that went to Big Brother the other day. You know that girl used to come online. I'm talking about how she sleep with married men. It has a way. These things have a way of. They say internet never forgets.
Of course, we never forget.
She's grown, but I know her mentality is kind of. That's why I say it's poverty. Yeah, when we talk about money, it's not the absence of money that makes you poor. Okay,
it's the mind.
It's in your mind. It's not. You can have no money, zero money, and you are still rich in your thinking, your mentality. But a lot of people are poor in their mindsets, and that's one thing that is so prevalent in Nigerian social media. That is so disgusting when you see them talking about. He has to give me 500,000. He has to give me 2 million.
How much is 500,000? How much is 2 million? How much is 20 million?
I beg. When are we going to start having a conversation about women making their own money? If they cut your hand, I money is sexually transmitted. You can
right now, the three topics in Nigeria is money, BBL, married man snatching that. I thought the three latest.
I thought she was going to say DNA test as well.
Topic, and it has been on for how many years now? So they don't want to change it.
No, it's sad. It's so sad. Let's hear what Brother Ben has to say. Let's see whether his audio is better now.
Uncle Benu.
He said bouncing back, but go ahead. I don't know what you do today.
Really? I've shut down everything.
Okay, go ahead.
Auntie B, first of all, my sister, well done. I really appreciate your point. Welcome back, Auntie B.
Thank you.
I was almost worried that you and my sisters will not go Jamaica.
We don't lose. We don't enter
Jamaica. Jamaica get plenty 6-pack boys. Now it's going to happen. So, Auntie B, since today be the day where you say maybe they confess. So, I say make I can't just shook mouth for this matter from a man's perspective, and I expect my sisters to forgive me for what I have to say. Now, there are two things here.
You keep malice?
No, I don't keep malice, but I shut down. So that's why
For how long?
Let me come and explain it. Now, when I shut down, it depends on my partner, how long she realized that something is not right and why I shut down, and then you come back, we talk about it, and that's it. And in my own case, like I said, I don't do malice because I think malice is when you have a negative intention towards the person you have issue with. But my own shutdown is like I will withdraw some of the things I do for you, not the house. As a married man, I'm still gonna do everything.
Will you talk
in the house, man?
Will you talk to her?
No, we will talk, but not like cozy, romantic, friendly
it's
conversation.
It's malice, brother. It's brother. That's malice.
All right, if you define it like that. So that's why I say I have to explain it. At least, hopefully, somebody can learn from this. Because if we call it malice, to me, the definition of malice is you have a negative ulterior. You have
no. It's not interior. Malice is malice. It's what it means is just switching off from the other person, not talking to them. Some may not eat their food. We have one uncle here who was telling us about how he goes to sleep in the hotel, will not come home. It's all malice. Whatever name you want to call it, it's malice.
That's why we have to break it down so that people can learn. And like I'm saying now, I know a couple of men who are also like in the same pocket with me. I don't see it as malice. I see it as there is an issue, and mostly for me personally, my own comes from conversation. We have an issue. You know, we are different human beings. My personal approach is we have an issue that requires we make a decision together. We both arrive at a decision that works for both of us. And when we start having the conversation, my partner take is, you know what, nothing else but how I want it to be done. Now, for me personally, I'm not speaking for other men, no, but for me personally, when a woman take the stand that, oh, it's my way or no way, you are already triggering me already. Because for me, I'm an extrovert. I like to talk issues out. At my own nature, I don't like sleeping on things. It's not the way I operate. My thing is, you do something I disagree with, let's discuss it real quick, get it resolved, and we move on. And knowing who I am personally, if you do something and I don't talk about it, that is when you should be worried. And I think some men fall into my category. When you do something that is not right to me, and I don't talk about it, I let it go. That is when it is dangerous, because I will continue to do everything I'm doing, playful, everything, but it stays in my mind.
Why don't you talk about it? Don't you think it's harmful to your relationship if you don't talk about it?
That is the point I'm making now. Because I'm saying it not for clout, not for people to judge me or anything, and I give God the grace. I've been with my woman for 21 plus, married 14 plus. So if I'm really that terrible, I wouldn't stay that long. And I don't marry a yes man woman. I marry a strong woman too. So I'm just saying it so people can learn from this. Everybody has a way they approach issues. Even you, Auntie B, you have how you approach issues. And I think as a partner, I've always been an advocate of know your partner, know your wife, know your husband. More importantly, before you get married, or maybe the first 1 or 2 years after you are married, know mostly how they respond when they are angry.
So when you withdraw, do you have kerewa in that period?
No, that's why I said I shut down. Because, let me explain it.
No one sees life the way you see it. No one lives life the way you live it. Whether you're
Uncle Benno talk sote, we have to pay some bills to we have to pay some bills, okay?
starting out or have a few stories to tell, AAA helps you do life for less. Save on travel.
All right, paid. Let's keep going.
Why are you differently? There are some men that once a woman open body, they are on. The action don't start. There are some men like me, we are emotional. If we want to make love, we want to make love. Let's go all the way out. I'm involved with you. Now you are the sea. You feel me now? So my emotions are involved. Now, when I have emotional issues that were not resolved with you, even if I do the kerewa, you said will not say, this is not my person.
So what I'm just going to say, I think you're trying to, I understand what you're trying to say, Raben, but you are trying to rationalize it, okay? You are trying to, and you are not calling it silent treatment. You're not calling it malice, which is the word we've been using. I'm using malice because that's what we call it in Nigeria. You're calling it shutting down, but it's the same, okay? It's the same. And I do appreciate what you are saying, that people have different ways of handling issues. And I agree that we all have different ways. But what we are saying...
the way Auntie B just responded up to that point, I thought it was fantastic. I think the way she said, I appreciate that we're all different. I think that was really good. Hey, Bimpe, welcome. How are you? I think that's a good response. Now, I've spoken to my brother, Uncle Benno, behind the scenes, and I have a better understanding of where it was coming from. You know, so that's going to allow me to also respond with, with some, better understanding. Of course, when we're talking in this platform, we're talking back and forth, we can't really see, a lot of things can get lost in the sauce. So I have a better understanding of where he's coming from. Sometimes it's just the way we, like, for example, people tell me all the time, like, my English too much. I said, please ask me. I'll break it down. Ask me where my English got too big. Because that's actually, like I said, if my English get too big, it's an opportunity to break it down. Right? Don't shut down at that point. Just ask. And then we'll break it down even further. Okay? So in that same token, all this can get lost in conversation. So I'm also not going to beat a dead horse because he made those other points on the part one. And we've already addressed many of them. But I'll reiterate some things because I've taken my time and I have a better understanding of where it's coming from to really address it. But I think I paused it because I like what Auntie B just said there, where she said, I appreciate when you say we're all different. I generally don't say it that way. Me, I'm like, listen, we know we're all different, okay? That's not what we're talking about right now. But I think it's necessary to say it the way she said it, which is appreciating that first. Let's keep going.
Is shutting down or withdrawing silent treatment malice is not constructive. It's not good. It is emotional abuse. That's what we're saying. Do you get what I'm saying?
B, agreed, Auntie B. And that's why I said there are two issues here. The Yvonne Jegede case, which is similar to a lot of people, and the main issue we are treating here. Look, Auntie B, one of the problems I have with a lot of people when it comes to discussing relationship is this. It's okay to say, as a man, be the leader, as a man, do this, as a man, do that. There are some men that will actually go to any length to do everything for you as a woman. You let you enjoy yourself, have everything you want. That doesn't make him less of a man. But that doesn't override the fact that there are certain things you are doing as a woman that is really getting to this man.
I understand.
Hey,
You
I know.
still, yeah, but we're still talking about how do you deal with, how we're looking at constructive ways of dealing with this woman that is disregarding your feelings,
Right.
disrespecting you, even though you are going out of your way. Because like we established earlier on the show, offense will happen. You know, you're going to have issues, definitely. But how do you handle it instead of shutting down or withdrawing?
That is why I'm saying it now for those of us who are still married and for those who will be married, for us to learn. Because in my own case, you already know me. You know how I behave normally, how I go about my business generally. And now we have an argument. And I'm always the type that I'm ready to listen and I'm ready to say my own. And I'm willing to always adjust. But all I want is for you to meet.
By the way, the question on the screen that says, Brother Ben, is it healthy in your opinion? He's literally saying in that moment that I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to make my own point, right? So he's saying he's open, and he's clearly said in the beginning that he wants us to learn, you know. So let's keep going.
Me at the same level. You have your point, you have what you are driving at, then listen to my own point of view. Now let's work it out. That is my own approach. Now, when it comes to the point that you are not ready to listen to that my own approach, talk less of arriving at a mutually agreed decision. Now, you they pull my tail with that. Are you feeling me now, Auntie B?
You are still describing the problem.
Yes, I'm coming.
You are
to it.
describing the problem. We are looking at solutions.
Wait, now, Auntie B. So now for me, when I first having all those issues, I do. Call, try to reach out, try to see, but Madam will not yield. And I'm not the type who will put hands on you or start a fighting, shouting match. I don't do that.
Are you looking to establish your business using an address other than your home? Wish you had a professional.
So what I do is to shut down. And when I shut down, that's my way of sending you a signal that something is wrong. Something is not right. Now, at first, Madam will do your own. I'm on my own. And for me, where I'm coming from, I believe that we are both in this marriage to make it work, which means I play my part, you play your part. When we get to the point whereby you are not willing to play your part, that means you've already made up your mind. And I've always been the kind of mind that I am not afraid to walk out of a marriage. If I do everything, work, I'm gone. So,
let me ask you this. A lot of questions in the comment section, Braben. Let me take some of them so that. Yeah, they said, although she's asking, Braben, is it healthy? Is this healthy in your opinion?
It's not healthy depending on the partner.
I don't think it's healthy. No matter the partner.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy.
Okay.
No matter the partner, it's not healthy.
Okay, Auntie B, you have a person. Everybody say a lot of women will say, "Oh, I want a man who provide, protect, is available, he's doing this, he's doing that," and you have this man that is doing all that. You now have areas where this man feels like, "No, let us look at this differently." But as a woman, you said no. You insisted.
You're still talking about the issue.
Auntie B, we have to talk about it because this
No.
all right. This is the second time I'm hearing this, so it's funny. It's funny because it's like we have to talk about the issue. All right. So this conversation, we're on fourth part right now of talking about this. This clearly, obviously, at this point, I think we all agree that this needed patience to tackle this topic. We needed lots of patience to tackle this topic because honestly, if we have a bunch of men out there that feel this way and they continue to think that somehow they've created a solution by silent treatment, it's not good for the ladies either. It's not good for the family, right? So we needed to address it. And when we are addressing it, we definitely needed to make sure that the men don't feel dismissed, you know, unless I intentionally just want to drag them as my brothers. Sometimes I do that to get their attention because if you don't drag men, it's very hard to get their attention because of coconut head, okay? So that's an intentional thing that I do for fun because I know they'll forgive me. But overall, if we're actually trying to come to a lasting solution, men cannot feel dismissed from this conversation. Or let me take that back, not men, because we don't want to make about gender war. The perpetrators of silent treatment cannot feel dismissed. All right? I've said that multiple times during this series that people don't always do that from a malicious standpoint. We call it malice because we want them to acknowledge that it feels like malice on the other end because they're also responsible for that. right? But if you are the one that gets to complaining first about this, it's very important that you see it as this is human behavior, bad habit that must be checked properly with lots of patience and empathy. If you don't apply empathy in solving these issues, it won't last. Could it last? And by the way, people have options. They will exercise and normalize bullshit even if they collect later down the road. Okay? So that's first and foremost. But I took some notes on some of the things that Uncle Ben said, and I'm going to address some of them. But let's finish it.
There will always be issues. No, Ben.
Oh, before we finish it, though, let me pardon my manners. I think there was some chat I missed earlier. Okay, just two. Okay, just two. Let's address it after. Just two. Let's address it after. Let's continue.
Auntie B, just let me land now. Okay. The thing is this.
You are trying to justify why you are withdrawing.
Auntie B, people react differently. You see how this a lot of women when they cry.
But we are looking at more healthy ways.
No, that's precisely what he was doing. He was trying to justify it. But trying to justify it is the result of people that feel dismissed. Right? My point is, Shalaye, why do people engage Shalaye? Because they feel like their pain is being dismissed. Right? So I don't expect less if somebody feel some kind of relations to that pain. Like, wait, we have to talk about this issue, right? I don't expect that they won't try to justify. So when they try to justify, I just want to give you, when I say you are right, that's what I mean. Because I think you're right, because you're speaking from a place of feelings, something you felt, some kind of pain at an emotional level, and it is valid. And we must address it from that standpoint. But after we agree with you that it's valid, there's more step. We got to get to the solutions, right? Because clearly, just telling us the problem does not solve the problem. It's part of solving the problem. It's a very important part of solving the problem. Acknowledging the problem, agreeing that the problem exists, is a very important part of solving the problem. Let's keep going.
I'm coming to read. I'm coming to read. So for me, what I'm saying is for me, when I shut down, we are in a place now that my partner already knows that whatever takes this guy to shut down is because of the last communication we're having, the last conversation or argument that we're not unresolved. So what she do, once she notice this guy don't shut down, almost 24 hours. The next thing, the moment she's coming back from work or anything, or it could be a phone call, she'll be like, "Oh, Benny, come, may we talk?" Or you don't begin to do that now. If I start out for you, okay, may we talk? Then I will just smile. I say, "All right, are you ready to hear my own side of the story now?" And she'll be like, "Okay." Then if I'm at work, I'll be like, "Okay, let me get home." When I get home, once the children are gone, we come back in our own private place and then we start talking. And then by the time we talk, she will listen, I listen to her, then we start looking for solution. And I think for the past 7 years, since she figured it out that the only time this guy gets shut down like this is when we cannot reach agreement on something, and I'm taking a stronger stand on it. Are you hearing me now? So since when she find it out, everything has been smooth and positive all the way. So that's just what I'm saying.
So this shutting down of yours, how long does it take? And how often do you do it?
That's a good question, right? Because everything Uncle Beno described up to that point is not what we were discussing. It hasn't been what we were discussing. We were discussing silent treatment. And 2 days ago, we defined that here as, just for the sake of this conversation, anything above 24 hours. And now it's getting awkward and people are completely living like roommates, right? That's what we're talking about. Not a temporary, like, okay, this conversation is getting nowhere. I'm just going to go in my own corner. I am upset. It's normal to be upset, right? But let me withdraw from this. If you have a wife who is in tune with that, or a husband who is in tune with that, say, "Babe, I'm sorry about yesterday. Let's talk about it. I've had time to think about it." Okay? There's something that happened not too long ago that I actually, like, I'll talk about that another day. Okay? With my own personal life, I'll talk about that another day. But the point is that you eventually, once you approach this with some smile on your face, some grace for yourself, some patience with yourself, you just see that some of these behavior are normal, right? And you're able to, once you have enough grace for yourself, you're able to offer the other person some grace. Oh, okay, she's upset, but okay, let's just shut it down for now. Okay, you're actually upset, you mean it, but 2 hours later, you're like, God, all right. My face is stressed out. It wasn't even that deep. Okay, babe, this is what we're trying. Like, when eventually you can get in that space where it's not that deep. You see what I'm saying? So, but in the beginning, when people don't know what they're doing, which is 100% of people that say I do, okay, when you don't know what you're doing, it's everybody you collect now. Everybody collects. Everybody.
Thank you. That's a very good question, Auntie B. For me, I really shut down. And like I said, it is only when there is this.
See, he made another point. I really shut down. People that give silent treatment, there's nothing like really in their situation. There's no such thing as really. Okay? This is a consistent problem, and it's eating the cord, the spinal cord. Otinjera is decaying that marriage down the hill. That's what this conversation is about. Now, it can start as a shutdown that Uncle Ben described, because that person might just be learning a better shutdown method, and now bass meets bows, and then right. So it can start as something very mild and then progress. I think it was Bumi that mentioned that yesterday. It can start that way. That's why we're making a stand that no, this is a terrible. If you're going to withdraw from a conversation, it needs to come from an intentional place. Somebody called it timeout. Like, you know what? Let's take a timeout. It's a little bit more intentional than, oh, I didn't have my way. Those are two different things. Even though the actions look alike, might seem to look alike. They're two different things. One is healthy. The other one is toxic. It will eat the core of your marriage. Okay, let's keep going.
Matter that in my own view as a man, I always put my family first, and I don't get in anybody's business.
Enter Talkify, the ultimate dating hack. I met my fiance on Talkify and let me
business. But when anybody is getting into our business in such a way, or there is a decision we have to make.
You see all the ladies saying, isn't that manipulation? Just because you don't agree it's manipulation doesn't make it not manipulation. That's something I want especially the gentlemen to understand. Just because your intentions was not to manipulate or to abuse does not make it not abuse or manipulation. Your intentions for the most part, especially if you're stuck on I'm a good guy, and Uncle Ben was already going that direction right now. I'm a guy who take care of my family, all that stuff is irrelevant when we're talking about this issue. It's relevant only to a certain extent. I think it's good to be a good guy. That's not what we're saying here. I just don't want you to attach too much expectations to or entitlement to that, to your own idea of being a good guy, right? I want you to understand there are emotions happening behind the scenes, and sometimes they won't make what you might consider to be logical sense. Another human being is involved. Let's keep going. No, another human being's emotions are involved. Let's keep going.
That involve our children, involve our future, and what we are trying to achieve. That is when I come up with my own ideas that let's do this. So it's only when we get to
ATB say it is manipulation.
Issue of discussion is really critical, and my partner no one listening. That is when it comes to shut down. I don't have time for all those fleecy things like.
Oh, by the way, Uncle Ben was not talking that fast. I sped it up. Let me put that normal.
Minor thing, you shut down. No. So I'm just saying this, that at times you might be married to a woman or a man who you can tell that this person really loves you and is really doing his or her best to make things. But once you are getting to a situation whereby the argument is becoming so strong that one person is withdrawing, that is a signal that something is not right. Let's quickly address it.
Black Lotus is asking, if your wife doesn't come to you to reconcile, would you continue to shut down?
Yes, that's a good.
Uncle Beno, you have to agree. That's your coconut head that say yes in that place. But I see that you don't want to deteriorate from the original point you were making. You want it to be straightforward, right? But that's an element of that coconut head in that space. That's saying, yes. But you meant it, you know. But shout out to Uncle Beno, because this conversation has grown wings. Let's keep going. There's some points I'm gonna address there in a second. Let's keep going.
Good one. Like I said, we are different.
He went back to we're different. And then he recently said, me as a man, I take care of my house. So like, that has nothing. There are a lot of men. There are a lot of women who take care of their kids, continue to cook, and they are abusive to their husband. So we don't think this is about gender. Because gender warriors are always ready to go, okay? There are a lot of people who take care of necessary household chores and they are abusive. Right? And then they're like, after everything I've done, they're like, I know, I'm sorry. It wasn't good enough that you did those typical things. There are a lot of men that are washing pata for their wife and they're abusive. How? Even pata, I know. Emotions no be your mates. Let's keep going.
Personally, I'm
But wait, how does that make sense? I didn't mean to abuse, I'm just abusing her. Again, if you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt other people without realizing that you're hurting them. Because we're not talking about random people off the streets. We're talking about your wife, the one you fell in love with once upon a time and you married. And somehow they start to feel differently. And anytime they complain, you said, I just think you don't appreciate what I bring to the table. Does that sound familiar? Okay, let's keep going.
I'm always this type of man that once you think you get strong head, that there's no need to talk.
Once you have coconut head and multiply the coconut head for you, that's out of order. That's not how God designed us. Particularly if you pay attention to our civilization, socialization, the role we play as men. We don't multiply, okay? We carry the seeds of what we want, okay? Now we can choose where we sow those seeds. Okay, we can choose that. If the ground is not fertile enough to do what you want it to do, you can choose. That's part of, and you have more than enough to go around. That's how it works. I think they say women can create 250,000 ovaries. I don't know the exact numbers. Don't quote me. Men, 400 million for every ejaculation. Something crazy, some wild gap. Don't quote me, please. I probably just butcher that. But some kind of wide gap. So this competition thing that's going on very subconsciously, very subtly, that's the problem. She's the one multiplying. You cannot multiply as fast as she can. Like she multiplies. When I say multiplies, nations. So competing with that in this respect, either spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, yes, not physically though. But everything that's not physical, everything that's not your own idea of logic, most of you gentlemen, the way she multiply, you can't match it. You're going to, your engine cannot, you're not designed to do that. You're literally shooting yourself on the legs. That's what I mean by it's out of order. If you show me that you have coconut head, me too, I will now come out. Could it work? It's not going to work. It is not going to work. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's the way it's set up. That's part of the things that created the sexual polarity that I keep talking about. We're not equal. We're not the same. Right? Funny enough, Uncle Beno said it in his everybody plays their role, but he's talking about physical and tangible stuff. What about the role that's happening at the subconscious level? The one that our bad habit is turning out and is in the wrong order now. What about those ones that we're not really paying attention to? I think that's where this conversation is coming in, and it's probably getting way too complex right now already. You know? But again, I didn't want to nitpick the words, but I heard that. I wanted to talk about that real quick. Let's keep going. I'll come back to some of it.
I am right. See, my lawyer not too far from me. Marriage is over with that. So to answer your question, I am ready to remove myself from the situation. If marriage won't end, make it end. That's like me, oh. I'm not.
So you know what a woman does with that? It stays in her mind. Okay? I have the personal experience and I've seen it over and over again. It stays in her mind, right? You're supposed to bring the safety, certainty, security, masculine energy into that relationship. But you've now sown the seed of fear. My lawyer, I'm just assuming, let's say, because that will show in the energy, even if you don't say that exactly, right? Well, I can just leave her. Yeah. Then she will start nursing the idea. I can't trust this person. Every time we have a hard conversation, they run. This person will run away. They start to use phrases like this person. Right? This person will run away. Every time we're like, She will start nursing the idea. She might be like, I'm a good woman. I will never do that to my husband. It's my fault. I will sign an undertaking. But Obìnrin is not your mate. The reality will kick back in. It's only a matter of time. Right? And you too, you're like, it gets worse because you too, you're trying to match that energy. There's a reason why you're trying to match that energy. That will continue. It's a feminine energy. We all have feminine and masculine energy in us. It's just that we have dominating energy, right? But once you get caught up in that and you have two feminine energy going at each other, Baba, that's chaos. So we needed you, your masculine energy, to keep that household in order because she multiplies everything out of control. She paints color, bala bala, all over the place. You that will say, it's your energy that will say, babe, no, you don't have to do all that. And she's like, yeah, babe, you sure? Okay, all right, okay, Zaddy. She's right. That's literally how it works. She's actually hoping that you will stop her madness at some point. But nah, she's gonna have to stop the madness. If she doesn't stop you, you won't stop it. That's out of order. Oh, but let's just play fair. Yeah, these are the issues. Fairness. Baba, you can do that with your lady colleagues at work. We're talking about your romantic lover. This shit was not fair from the get-go. It will never be fair. You don't want it to be fair. You want her to bend down, get on her knees and do the needful. Excuse me. And do it willingly because she wants to. She'd rather do it to you. Is that fair? Why are you looking for fairness with your woman? That's out of order. You've lost your position. She's losing respect by the second. And if you think it's her fault, you're still right. You're right.
You're right.
But Kamala Harris is not going to help you. It's not. She's not. She's not going to help you. Okay? Most women are not going to be Kamala Harris. Go figure. Let's keep going.
I'm not talking for any other man, you know? So, that is just me personally. I'm like,
but Ben, I understand that you are talking. I mean, you're talking about what works for.
A lot of men actually feel that way, which is why we are addressing it. A lot of men actually feel that way, and like I said, rightfully so. I'm not taking your rights away, but those rights is not your goal. Your goal is that your woman is in love with you and want to have sex with you all the time. She doesn't want you to step out of the house. She can't wait till you come back to the house. She's heads over heel in love with you. That's your goal, not to be right.
For you, but I think that's not healthy. It's not.
No, MOP. I just want to be right. No, I know you agreed with me. Your goal is not to be right. Okay, that's not why you got married, bro. That's not why you got married. You just wanted a synergy. You wanted a glue that you can't explain. But, right? Somebody is needy, but you actually don't mind. You're like, she loves you. She's kind of needy. She comes off clingy, but you don't mind. That's just your lady, right? That's really what you want. Not fairness. Not let's just play fair. What is that? That's so unsexy. What the fuck is fairness? Why are you obsessed with fairness in a romantic relationship? How does that make... Okay, I know why. It's because syphilis don't enter. That's why you're not enjoying it.
It's not healthy because it's a kind of... It can be perceived as a manipulation to get the other person.
That's the right way to put it. It can be perceived as. It's not necessarily your intentions. Right? I have people that take the car away from their wives because they're upset with their wives. It starts with a thought. It starts with little things, right? As a matter of fact, when I was having this discussion with my wife, I admitted there were times that she disagreed with me and I started to nurse the idea that, okay, maybe if I take her name off of that credit card. Well, it starts as a thought. It starts small like that. She even reminded me that there was one day that I told her that she can't drive the X5. I don't remember that anymore, by the way. But she grabbed the key and then she went and drive it. Well, that's a person that's still not fed up. She can get to a point where she'll be like, okay, I'm going to show you. What happened to women? Then she start listening to other women say, get your own money, get your own money. Well, once your woman start listening to get your own money, she's gone. All she needs. Somebody told me that if I find a person, a client told me, if I find a person that can afford to take care of my livelihood right now, I would dump this motherfucker right now. Now, this is real. Well, that's a bad woman anyway, Baba. We are all bad. When it gets down to survivor, we are all bad. That's why I told you, don't get obsessed with your goodness or you're doing the right thing. You've always taken. Don't get obsessed with that stuff, okay? Elevate yourself. Be obsessed with becoming a better version of yourself than the version yesterday. Stop talking about how good you are. That's actually not sexy and not attractive, okay? Not in this context, of course. There's some women who fall in love with arrogant bastards. I know it's another conversation entirely. Let's just continue.
To agree to what you are asking. And I don't think I wish Ola was here. He will be able to articulate this for me better. Ola has a way of being able to reach these things and even I don't have the words, but I know what I mean.
Auntie B. Auntie B. No vessel. I have one quick question.
Question.
At what point do you think a woman should leave her marriage if her husband is displaying certain...
That question, I can smell it. It's another attempt to... Now, again, Uncle Beno and I have had this conversation. I have a better understanding of where he was coming from. The more important part about this is that some people are listening and they are listening with a certain part of their brain that connects with the pain they're going through. And that's why I wanted us to address it and elaborate a little bit more. But let me look at this real quick. Let me come to this chat, something I was supposed to address earlier on. Okay, there you go. Please like this video. Thank you. I like you. Uncle Beno saying that's how we got several parts of this topic. Oh, yes, so many. Yep. It was because of this Uncle Beno's submission on Auntie B's show that made me share my story. Thank you, David. I really appreciate that you shared this story, David. I appreciate you. I appreciate Bumi. I appreciate Uncle Beno. I appreciate a lot of people in the chat of Uncle Beno that really said, you know what? I've done this and I did it for a good reason. Something I thought was a good reason. No, it's still a good reason, but I couldn't see as far as the impact negatively. I was just trying to fix an issue that was happening instantly. Right? Like somebody is dismissive, they don't want to agree to your point, it's their way or the highway, right? I appreciated that because it allows us to get through, because it's never, like I always say, it's never you're right and I'm wrong. Or I'm wrong, or I'm right and it's never that. It's none of that. I can't even tell you you're wrong if I don't know your full story. It doesn't make any sense, right? So it was because of this Uncle Beno submission Auntie B's show that made me to share my story. On that day, everyone made it look like if you keep malice, you are the problem. I know what you mean, but that's why I keep always saying it's not a matter of you the problem or it's your fault. It's about there is a problem. And keeping malice will not solve it. It can actually expand it and make it worse. That was majority of it. That's why Auntie B got to a point to say, I wish Ola could be here so he can put it into words. It's not like I'm good at putting it into words too. I just take my time, right? I just take my time. So, and even if you're my client, a lot of my clients are listening to me right now, you know that that's a big part of what we're doing. If you didn't get into that problem overnight, don't expect it to be solved overnight. It's very simple, okay? There's bad habits somewhere, usually on both sides, to be honest with you. But whoever is complaining first has power to start the direction that they want it to go, okay? It takes two to tango. Yes, eventually. It doesn't have to start that way. Actually, it never starts that way, okay? All right. So thank you for being here, David. I appreciate you, David. I think the more men speak out, the better women will know how we felt too. And we can also get to learn skills to work with. All right, good. Sesma said it is quiet on the outside, but trust me, the person giving you the silent treatment is having full-on convo in their head. Good point. And yabbing you. Good point, Sesma. That's a good point. Okay? That's why I said, when David said, I don't care, I'm like, that's a disconnect. Nah, you do care. And it's okay to say, I care. All right? And there's a place and time to say, hey, I should, instead of saying, I don't care, what I do normally in our programs, I redirect that care to start caring about self. Start caring about self. And usually, you're obsessed with that other person. And the way you camouflage is that you act like you're obsessed with what they're saying. You're complaining about what they're doing. But actually, you're obsessed with them and you've lost yourself. And you've lost everything about you. So it's a struggle. It's a very hard thing to comprehend because of the way, but it's marriage. Well, you've lost yourself. You've lost yourself. There's a certain level of confidence that's just too sexy to ignore. Confident. To bear. Well, when you start complaining about sex, that doesn't look like confidence, does it? It doesn't. So you're right, it's a complex issue, and that's the point I'm trying to land on you. There's something, this is beyond right and wrong, right? And no, it's not about you're the problem, because once I tell you it's your problem, you shut down too. Yeah, like we're even perpetuating the problem. Now you're like, forget those ones. Those ones don't know what they're talking about. No, it's not about one person is the problem. Is that possible? Yes. Usually that's not the case. Okay? Usually it's just two human beings trying to collaborate. It creates friction. It's just inevitable. And when it happens, yeah, you find yourself inside of poto. And what do you normally do naturally? Knee-jerk reaction. Am I that bad? I'm not that bad. I know what I was thinking. It's their fault. That's the wrong angle. Okay? Even if it's actually their fault, it's the wrong angle. Because you're married to this person. If it's so much their fault, leave them. I'm guessing you can't leave them easily. Well, they bring some kind of value? Okay, good. Let's talk about those values. Well, before we talk about those values, let's talk about you. How did you lose yourself in this shit? What about you? Don't you deserve soft life too? So what do you mean? Well, we need to tap into your greatness. You need to start feeling like yourself again. Right? So if you disengage temporarily, that's what you're about to say. You go back to gather power. Not because you're acting like a teenager. I'm just going to shut down so that they can find it. That's called manipulation. Because we're talking about a marriage at least. Some kind of romantic relationship at least. So it makes you feel good short term, but you still feel like shit. Which is what Sesma was saying here. There's a battle going on inside. Tonya says silent treatment, shutting down, malice are all in the family of emotional abuse because it touches the other partner. Communication is the solution. Good. David says, MOP, let me throw a question in. If as a man I'm extremely addicted to porn and masturbation, consequently I no longer feel attracted to my partner, do you think the man will ever admit the root cause? That is in fact a question. When you bring in addiction, okay, now we're treading in we're talking clinical stuff now, okay, and I don't want to speak too much to clinical stuff, okay, but I'll tell you like this, just as a general knowledge, when you're talking addiction, you're literally proving everything I've just said. So it's more so, it's not even about being attracted to your partner, right? It's about you now. It's about you, right? It's about you. So if you no longer feel attracted to your partner, are we saying that your wife is addicted to porn and they're no longer attracted to you? Are they addicted to swinging off a chandelier? Is that what, or you're talking about you not being, because from what was said earlier on, you're still attracted to your partner. So there's a small gap there that I'm missing. Now you talk about they're addicted, they're watching porn, and they're using masturbation stuff, and they just don't want to deal with you. Is that what we're talking about? I need some clarity on that. Unless you say it's not your story, it's just a general question. If it's a general question, that addiction must be dealt with first before we talk about attraction to another person entirely. Okay, not only are you not going to be attracted to your partner, potentially your productivity as a human being will be shattered. So it's a bigger conversation than just your attraction to your partner. But if you want to elaborate, feel free. Not to say that is why we told Brother Ben is not a malice keeper. Oh, because if he meets one, he will know he's a Lana. That's a good point. I was going to tell him that, like, Brother Ben, you're a Lana. You're not really a malice keeper. You even said like, no, I rarely, no, if you see malice keeper, this is who they are. It's become who they are, I should say. It's a learned behavior, but it's something they've been doing for long before that marriage. Okay, they are very comfortable in that funk. Okay, they would rather be talking in their head than talk to you. Okay. All right. Sesmore. I think Sesmore might be some kind of professional. If you're a professional, please reach out. We can always use your submission. If you're a professional, I can always use other people's perspective, please. Okay. See, that depends on who you feel is responsible for your actions. If you admit or not to yourself and others, the problem remains to you. There you go. That's a good point. In my personal, my opinion, I guess, porn and sex toys are in the same poto. It will mess up whoever indulge in them. It's not always true. Just like alcohol don't always mess up everybody. Addiction, right? Alcohol is not the same for everybody. Some people will drink alcohol for 5 years, it will eat up their whole liver and everything. Some people will do it for a lifetime, they're still standing. Ask Wole Soyinka. Okay, I'll let my uncle on Sharp Edge News TV tell you about Wole Soyinka. I think he mentioned it on the last show. Okay, Wole Soyinka is about to turn 90 next month. Okay, some people will swear up and down, cigar will destroy you. Not everybody. Okay, not everybody, but it's good to say, hey, that's not healthy. It's better to say it can destroy you. But it's not always true. Some people can they can, how do you say it? They can hold more than others, so that we don't turn out to there's a lot of things we've demonized, especially from a traditional Nigerian standpoint, that it's not really helping to demonize. It just makes people go wilder anyway, because people are going to do what they're going to do if it comes down to survivor. All right, let's see if Uncle Beno has finished his submission. We digress.
Behavior.
Auntie B, let me answer.
I will finish this today. Okay, so that question Uncle Ben was just asking, let me rewind it. That question is designed to, if you do this, then I do that. Wrong angle always. Okay, wrong angle. Okay, we don't want to do that, but let's listen to it. Okay,
a woman should leave her marriage if her husband is displaying certain.
At what point should a woman leave her marriage if her husband is displaying certain what? Behavior.
Auntie B, let me answer.
Okay, go ahead.
At the point where she's tired.
That answer is such a perfect answer, but I have a feeling it's not enough. Let's keep going.
She's not happy. It's just like how, Ben, respectfully, you're saying that your lawyer is the psyche. When you go into marriage and you're saying that lawyer is no far, that's the psyche. That means you are ready to risk it all.
Okay, wait. Before Uncle Ben goes on to continue his point, let's bring in fairness into this. So how come a man can do it? That's a good question. Why come men don't do that? Maybe because men are different from women. Men don't just say, hey, I'm tired, I leave. There's a sense of duty that a man carries, right? And it's not just going to be, I'm tired. But hey, who is defining what's tired? At what point is tired? Is tired different from people to people to people? Yeah, it's a generic question. It's a very general question. But when a person is tired, we don't have to tell them. They just leave. It might be 10 years down the line. It might be 8 years. It might be 18 years. It might be 2 months. It might just be an annulment. after doing it in Vegas 2 days later. When he's tired, I don't know. Right? So we need specific, we need actual stories, right? Before we can really make this into a thing, right? But hey, it's just a generic. Let's just see if men can do the same. My answer already, men are generally not built to do the same, which is why they should not treat themselves as the same as a woman. Because you're not built that way anyway. Especially if you're a good man who takes care of the bill, you take care of your family. You'll be busy saying, we said I do. You're supposed to be committed now, and now you are weaponizing sex. And she's like, babe, I'm not weaponizing, I'm just tired. And she's like, I'm not gonna okay, all right, let's do it. Okay, just do what you want to do. And you're like, wah. It's not the same. I'm sorry, I'm just dramatic. Let's keep going.
That means you are not ready to walk through it. That's the point. If I'm
the Shalaye has spoiled the answer she gave. The Shalaye has made it worse, because now from the next sentence after that, there's about 200 different Nollywood movies. The answer should have been just as generic as the question, which is at the point where you're tired. Then Uncle Beno can say, what do you mean tired? No, but Uncle Beno is already making up his own Nollywood movie that fits the narrative he's trying to sell.
I'm not happy. If when I'm going home, I'm thinking, I'm panicking. I'm not happy.
Threatening divorce is a no-no.
Yes.
Absolutely. Don't threaten divorce, please.
So that's the point that you just say, I not do again. Like, F it.
Threatening divorce is also manipulation, by the way. I know. Ola, you're not finishing this right. I know.
Never spell it.
Threatening divorce is manipulation. If you do it enough, it's abusive behavior. Now he's just talking. Uncle Beno is just talking on the public platform, of course. But we're saying some people listen to that and they literally go back home and they'll be doing that. That's manipulation. Just because you're manipulating doesn't mean you didn't have your reason. So, right? You know, the reasons that will make you say, I don't care too. You see sex, then I'll just file divorce. And you keep saying that to your wife, you're actively trying to manipulate them to give you what you want, because you don't have the skills to do it in a way that will create lasting solutions. Right? It's a coping mechanism. So eventually you will get what you want. You will attract what you fear the most. Remember, we're not talking about your job where there's a paycheck on Friday. We're talking about a place where everything is literally a privilege. They stayed with you because they are attracted to you or to something that you offer. And it's all, they don't have to stay with you. Never mind the vows you did in church and all that kind of stuff. That's nice. That's cute. People should honor them. You're absolutely correct. People should honor them. Okay? The reality is that when it comes down to survivor, you'll be right. They will also be right.
Well, you're right.
They will run for the hills when they get tired, wherever that point is. 2 days later or 20 years later. Let's keep going. Have we lost the point? No, not yet. Uncle Beno is asking the question. We didn't finish it yet.
I'm tired. Wait till I make it happen. That's the point.
Yeah. Because what it is that whatever...
They are giving all this Shalaye because they are also, based off of what Uncle Beno has been saying, they are kind of knowing where it's going already. So they are going and going and going. Let's hope Uncle Beno comes in a second.
We are both adults, right? And so we have equal opportunities.
Options.
Whatever you think, you say your lawyer is down the road.
That's what I was saying.
Lawyer is also down the road. As a matter of fact, women are the ones that always instigate divorce. Statistically, they file for divorce more. So
80% more.
I think.
Or 80%, just rough numbers. 75% college educated, 90%. They pull the trigger because oftentimes that's the only out they have. Men can have multiple different outs, options. Go around, drink, act like they're boys. There's no kids tagging on along to every trip they go. So they get comfortable. Or she's there taking care of her kids. Well, she's also listening to YouTube videos. One day she's going to get enough energy okay, and say, enough is enough. You think she's wrong for doing that? You're right.
Well, you're right.
Yeah, but she will still leave. Okay.
You doing what?
She's still leaving. Okay, so that's why I said it's not about being right. We gotta focus. We don't need to be right. We want to create results that we want, that feels right. Let's keep going.
I mean, for a healthy marriage, you shouldn't always have it in mind that my lawyer is down the road, or if you don't do what I want, then I'm gonna withdraw.
Okay, thank you, Auntie.
Want better malpractice?
Paying bills again.
Meet MedPro Group, the industry's largest and strongest malpractice.
And more healthy ways. I'm not saying that what she's doing is right, though. I'm not supporting because I don't know what the situation is.
I just want to, Auntie B, I just want to flip the question around now. At what point should a man leave a marriage?
Well, it's a very blanket question now because there are
we answer
several things that can
woman
happen.
now straight up. We answer woman own straight up when she's no longer happy. That's what my sister there said.
Let's
At
answer
what
it.
point should a man leave a marriage?
When he's not happy, when he's not fulfilled.
Thank you. That is the point.
Uncle Ben, what you're failing to realize, sorry to interrupt, what you're failing to realize is that it's not one person that makes a marriage, it's two people. Whether we like it or not. And as why man of prestige will say that is on the man is because you are the head, right? It's not like it's not the woman's job to make the marriage work. But if you are going biblically, if you marry and if you're following the honors of marriage, it's your responsibility. You are the leader. And as a leader, you are not supposed to be bragging that, I eat 4 meat. Now servant leadership position. It cannot be 50-50 every time. Some days I do everything. Some days no day. I go feeling. So if you're not happy too.
Blessing said, my ex-husband did exactly what Ben is doing, and I could not continue with him anymore.
Thank you. See, Auntie B, I want us to look at this thing from a fair perspective.
You are looking at it from a gender perspective.
No, not gender. See, Auntie
yes, you
B,
are, because
sorry about this. Fair and gender, they're synonymous. In dictionary, they are not synonymous. In this topic, they are synonymous. And I think that's what Auntie B picked up there. When you say, let's be fair, and we're talking about between a husband and a wife, don't be surprised if it's interpreted as a fair standpoint. And I've already spoken about fairness today. I don't want to go over that again. Fairness in romantic relationship, it just gets worse. It just gets worse. Let me see here. Uncle Beno says, well, MOP, I don't know where people on the show got the idea that me saying lawyer is around the corner means threatening divorce. It's kind of interesting that you said that. Remember I said people are making up Nollywood movies as they hear one thing. There's certain things they hear based off of your rhetoric so far and based off of their own interpretation. And, they hear what they hear. That's where it's coming from. So if you say, well, my lawyer is down the road, the person that says like, you can't be surprised that they will say, my own lawyer know they down the road, Abby. Right? So it's only natural that they do that. That was just a honest answer to the question asked by the host. Yeah, I hear you. Uncle Beno, unless you have said or insinuated that your spouse in an argument is a threat, it is a threat. So it feels like it's not necessarily the physical reality or things you like. If it feels like a threat, it's going to be received as that. And by the way, more likely than not, your wife, before you even say it, they smell it. If you keep threatening them, you will take this, I will take your credit card away, I will do this. All of that is already emotional and verbal abuse. And then when you actually do it, it becomes financial abuse because it creates fear, it creates anxiety. They feel like they're walking on eggshells. They're actually becoming afraid, right? The same thing will be true if you happen to be the receiver of a japa. Your wife brought you to the America, and then she's always threatening to throw you out. I will go and report you. Abi, you did some kind of, and she's always talking about she's going to report you and all this because you have arguments. You can also look at it that way, because some women do that, right? Abby Doll says, welcome Abby Doll. Happiness is inside job. If you don't have joy in you, you can never be happy. That's a fact. Let's keep going. Let me see here. All right. Let's keep going.
Because that question you're asking, at one point should a woman leave a marriage? Those are questions that there's no single answer for it. Even Bumi said when she's not happy. But he said
that's what I meant by it's a general, extremely generic question. There's no one answer for it. There is an answer that Uncle Benno is looking for. It might be like, just give me a yes or a no, right? Sometimes we'll say it that way. Unfortunately, that's us yielding that's going in the direction of fairness now. That's either this or that. These conversations are never that. This conversation, this whole thing that I'm teaching is an art more than it's an exact science, right? It's like painting. It's like somebody trying to teach you how to paint correctly. Listen, it's either you know how to paint, you have the gift, or you don't. Some paintings are terrible. If 9 out of 10 people will tell you it's terrible, there's that one person that will say, it's not bad now, because it's an art, right? Relationship conversation is very similar. Trying to be objective with it is not easy, because we have our emotions involved in it. The person you are talking to will mix it with their emotions. They will interpret it with their own pain, their own experience. And don't be surprised if it sounds like something that wasn't your intention. That's why I say being a good man should not be coming into this conversation. Okay? Because if being a good man is not good enough for you, that you just know that you shouldn't have to sell it, it's probably not going to be good enough, period. Right?
It culminates into a lot of things. It's not a one sentence question or answer. It's a lot. Nobody can say, just like Vaughn said in that podcast that, he was keeping malice, I left. There were other things. It's not just the malice.
Yes.
But like they say, it's the last straw. Okay? But a lot of things would have been happening in the background. Then the malice now, cuckoo, made everything dissolve. So it's not a fair question to ask, when should a man leave a marriage or when should a woman leave it? And you want a one sentence answer. No. It doesn't. I don't think there's an answer. That's just one sentence.
Like I said, I originally don't even plan to call in, but it's because this is a very...
The man can leave when he's tired as well. The problem with that is that this was never balanced fairness. So a man generally don't just want to leave. He wants to take care of his family. It's not like women want to do that either. I'm just saying the dynamics are different with the way a man processes that and the way a typical woman processes that. They're just two different words. So the pursuit of fairness is the beginning of failure in a romantic relationship is the point. Let's keep going. So what you should be looking for is making sure you identify the strength and weakness. That's a lot of work. Strength and weakness. And where do we find? And we complement each other so smooth, like art, like a fine art. Like so smooth that we don't know what it is. It's just we're having a good time. And by the way, you're the one that brought me food every day for the last 3 months. But we're not complaining. Why don't you bring food 2-3 days of the week and I bring 3 days of the week? Why don't you do the shows? You're not complaining. You're having a good time. She's happy to do what she does. You're happy to do what you do. That's what it looks like. What you're looking for looks like that. And the people that don't collect in relationship, they will look at you and say, why are you accepting that? What do you mean, why am I accepting that? What am I accepting? I'm having a good time. Okay. Sure, all right, Sha. It should be fair. Both of you should clean diapers at the same time. Baba, that person that's talking like that has collected woto. Because they don't know what romantic relationship is. Now they are trying to play fair. You want to play fair? The courts will help you finish it. The divorce courts will help you finish it. They will help you with that fairness that you're looking for. Because that's what they're going to go do there. Because they're not the one in the romantic relationship with you. They will help you. They say, so how much assets do you have? Okay, let's share it. No, I don't want to share it. Oh, wait, you don't want to share it. That's fair. No. The court, if you can't agree in your negotiations, the court will say, you know what? Subpoena everything. We need to see everything. Wait, what was this money that went to Nigeria? What's $50,000? Okay, we're not going to ask them to send it back from Nigeria, but we're going to add it as part of your money you've gained. You're like, huh? Just like that? That's so unfair. Says who? They determine that for you because you cannot agree. The same things that you should have been doing in that relationship, you'll be forced to do it. Negotiate, or they will help you do it. Divorce is not your mate. Let me read this comment by Abidol. Abidol says, if you're emotionally and mentally detached from your toxic spouse before divorce and cultivate happiness, then you can divorce. But if you think divorcing will give you happiness, you're kidding. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Beyond Britney says, I'm so late. That's okay. You can catch up. You can watch replay.
Critical
Welcome.
Situation. Please, people should not just look at it like, what is this guy saying? A lot of men don't talk these days. And I'm just saying it because...
They don't talk, but they keep malice.
Exactly. And I'm just saying it so we can have a better home. When there are a lot of men that they will not touch you, they will not beat you, they will not do anything.
That's I am a good guy thing coming into it already. I'm not going to repeat myself. I just want to hear it. They won't touch you, they won't beat you, they will not do anything. Yeah, I think we already got the answer to that. Let's go on.
Some don't even have energy to shout or yell. Once you are the one who is talking back, taking higher ground, it has to be your way or no way.
There's something we give.
Especially for those of us living in Western world. A lot of men now are even filing for divorce and say, I don't want to be with this woman. I'm just saying that know your spouse limit, your spouse boundary, and how they react when they are really angry. I was on the same show with Brola, and we argued back and forth. I think
I saw it. I heard you arguing. They already know that you keep malice.
Joined. See, the thing is this: we are in a space now whereby there are a lot of platforms that let's teach man, let's teach man, let's teach man. Cool, but let also teach women to recognize some certain behaviors.
Do you trust the information from ChatGPT? The information is not reliable, and it's difficult.
Some certain things. There are so many sweet men out there that will literally make you the center of their world.
Uncle Beno, what's sweet man? What is that?
They are sweet. They don't have this other side of them that it will shock you when they start reacting like that. That's just all I'm saying. I'm still saying it tomorrow. Come rain, come sunshine, I'll go take my madam over and over again because we have gone through fire and brimstone together and we have mastered each other now. And like I'm saying, shutdown is wrong, like you said. Keeping malice is wrong and all that. Me, I don't see it as malice. For me, it's a basic principle. I think on one of the last show, I said something like, look, in my own family, my wife makes almost 70 or 80% of the decision. I don't even get involved in it because women run the house. Women have to come up with a lot of decisions every day. They are the ones who see how things are going. The only time I get to make decision is if we have to do something big or something really huge, or there is a huge problem that requires my leadership, and I feel like, okay, it be like say, madam might not make the right decision there, then I step in and then we look at it together. But initially it wasn't like that. So we can say, oh, Ben, you are this, Ben, you are that. But I thank God I'm still happily married.
Now, Uncle Beno don't enter Shalaye zone at this point. This conversation will do it to you. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Listen, I've seen Uncle Beno move, and he loves his wife. That's not questionable at all. We don't have the authority to question that, and we're not even going to get into that. Let's stay focused on the point. Right? Let's stay focused on the point. The only thing I can say to that is that there are a lot of surface level things there, like, the woman taking care of the household. Those things can be happening and they can be abusing each other emotionally, because remember, it's emotions level, right? So and the damages are actually, they are greater. The impact is greater. It will feel greater because you never expect it, you never see it coming. Your mind, everything was good, right? Until the person say, I don't think I'm in love with you anymore.
I never expected it.
Yeah. Eventually, somebody might just gain courage, right? To say, it's just eventually. That's not something that comes overnight. It could be the husband too, right? I don't think we're meant to be together. Right? Something will give, something will break. You might not expect it. So, I'm just saying. Natu, I was laughing. She said, my egbon does not keep malice. All of you back off Uncle Ben. Oh. My people have been in the background listening from the gym. Still need to do some replay later on. Shout out to you, Chinye. Appreciate you. But let me address some of the points that Uncle Benno made here very quickly. I'll do it as fire rounds because we already beat this conversation down so hard. Okay, shutdown versus malice keeping, they're all in the same family. But if you can manage to find your way back, it's just your way of withdrawing from a toxic conversation within 24 hours, that's okay. I think that can actually become a good coping mechanism. Just maybe people get upset. They are too upset, and you have the skills enough to know when enough is enough. Let's revisit the conversation. But if it's not coming from an intentional place, it's just you shutting down because you are angry with the other person, that should be checked. Okay, that is exactly what grows, because you don't become 3 months malice keeping unless you start from 24 hours first. So we have to kind of treat them equally. How long she realizes something is not right is how long it takes for Uncle Benno to come back. All right, that's putting the power in our hands. You are the king. You can't afford that, gentlemen. You cannot afford to, if we're just going with that talking points, because again, I've spoken to Uncle Benno and I understand better where she's coming from. I'm talking to the people that heard this as, well, I'm just going to wait. No, even when it comes to what we call the no contact rule, right? If we're talking about a marriage, at some point 2 weeks later, let's say somebody unilaterally pulls back from interaction with you, we do say it's okay, give them the space. You need the space. Go no contact. That doesn't mean cold turkey. It means if it's a romantic relationship outside of marriage, you live separately, leave them alone. Let them be. All right? And that's indefinitely, because, listen, that's not a marriage. If it's a marriage, you have kids together, you're probably not going to need 2 weeks. Just give them some space. Let them show like they're open again before you try to engage that situation. That is more coming from an intentional place. And because more so, I ask you to engage your personal development in that time period. You're not angry. If you were angry, you will calm down because you know clearly there's something you need to learn. Okay? In that time. So how long she realizes something is not right, if she's narcissistic enough, she thought she was right. She'll stay in that zone and she'll tell you to go to hell, depending on how much damages both of you have created in that relationship. That's not a good tactic. Then Uncle Benno said, withdraw some of the things I do for her. That can be interpreted as abusive if it keeps happening from time to time. Yes, it's, we need context around that to condemn it. But if I just go generic, that's not something that should be encouraged. Uncle Benno did say talk. He would talk, but not cozy. Listen, this is just natural reaction when you're caught up in your emotions. So it's not about condemning it. It's about saying, hey, pay attention to that. If you keep doing that, something that happens on a repeated basis, that should be checked. You should seek wise counsel. Okay? Again, we can't really condemn, like the idea of condemnation bringing into this conversation doesn't help. It's not about condemning them. It's about paying attention and saying, hey, I'm in a relationship. I feel the need to not talk for 24 hours, 48 hours. And I'm comfortable with that. That's not a healthy relationship. Something is wrong, Uncle Benno did say, to me, malice is not negative. Malice involves negative ulterior motives. We've already dissected that here. This context, we're talking about malice keeping. Particularly, the other person will receive it as malice keeping. You might not necessarily, your intentions might not be ulterior motives. It still can be received that way, which means if it's received that way, it can hurt you and your relationship. You should pay attention to it. All right. And it's not good enough to say, I don't see it that way. Because it's not about you seeing it that way. The other person seeing it that way will destroy your family if you do it long enough. And not everybody is going to be lucky enough to come out on the other side. Okay. So it's not good enough to say, I don't see it that way. It's not good enough to say that's my personal approach. Because we're all just trying to learn. Like he rightfully said. If you're dealing with the person, the partner, because one of the things he brought up, which was valid, is that you deal with a partner that is my way or the highway, my way or no way. If you're dealing with that kind of person, that is your responsibility, not your fault. That's your responsibility. Learning how to get across to that person. Learning how to get across to that person with healthy communication strategies is something that I advise you to make your responsibility. It's good for you. It's a skill set that will actually help you in other aspects of life, right? Like it seems like they shut down, but you have the skills to open them up. It's like I'm teaching you sales now, okay? This is something that, like, there's a benefit to getting them to open up. So I'll tell you like this. If we're talking about, let me make it general to women. Women that feel heard and seen, if she feels heard and seen, you can penetrate everything. Physically, mentally, emotionally. If she doesn't feel heard and seen, blockity. Everything shuts down. You cannot penetrate anything. Okay? So how are we going to teach women then? Okay. Let me teach women. Okay? Ladies. Okay? If you don't feel heard and you dash him to penetrate you, you will resent it. You will punish him 2 times more the next time you come back around to it. If you have issues about your husband not capable of making you feel safe and secure enough, seek wise counsel. You cannot sustain leading that relationship in a romantic direction. Typically, you're not capable. That's not what you're designed to do. You're designed to receive, multiply, and reciprocate, which means he benefits more when you figure this out. You benefit too, but he benefits more than you playing fairness. Okay? He doesn't want you to be leading. He might think he wants you to do that or to sometimes lead. He will resent it. He will call you masculine at some point, because as much as he might look good on this end of things, on the other side, you come off as masculine. It's a complicated stuff. So if that helps you, ladies, sure. But this is the way it plays out in romantic relationships. Fairness is not real in romantic relationships. If it seems like it's real, it's because it's now become second nature. People have figured themselves out already. Right? So they're in a place, meaning you guys have been together and you've done it so well long enough and you're taking care of each other. And you're using that to advise people that are inside of poto. Could work? Okay, let's keep going. I don't like sleeping on things. Uncle Beno told us finally that he's not the person we're talking about. Right there. Okay? He just wants to have a conversation. Some of us are like that. We want to talk it out. Those of us that are like that, we have to learn to give people space. If they can't receive what you're saying right now, let them, okay, babe, I'm just going to say this. I'll let you think about it. As a matter of fact, here's 20 million naira. Go and think about it. Come back to me so we can talk about this. Baba, that's the most sex, not the money. But I'm just saying, if you can maintain your cool in that way, maintain your masculine frame in that way when you're communicating with your wife, trust me, she will process it. She might be the one to come back to you first, or use other apology languages like feeding you a solid inyo anamala just to communicate that you could talk now. It's okay. As a matter of fact, you can Come on, take me. Right? Yeah, these are the things that you're looking for, not fairness, like you're at your workplace. That's not sexy, okay? I don't like sleeping on things. Okay, so we talked about that. Uncle Ben is not the person we're talking about. When you do something that is not right, Uncle Beno is going back to right and wrong. If the wife does something that is not right, he said he stays on my mind. He wants to talk it out. So it's not about wanting to talk it out or not wanting to. Communication is key, right? But one thing that's greater than communication is how you communicate. All right. I'm over time, 30 minutes. I'm aware, but I want us to finish this today. Okay. Because I will actually engage my soft life after this. Okay. Then Uncle Beno enter Shalaye mode. Being with my wife for 21 years. Yeah. Don't do that with the ladies. They will tell you instantly like, oh, you've been in the lady for 21 years. Would that help? That's what they will say to you. All right. So you see me, I generally don't talk about how long I've been in it, because honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it's how well, it's not how long, right? And in some, let me give you this example. We have an anniversary that we count that's more like 6 or 7 years, and then we have the long one, right? Those are two different marriages. If you don't get it, what is it? I can't find it. You don't get it?
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
All right. So if you are going through a crisis in your marriage, that's actually a good thing. You might end up with 2 anniversaries like my wife and I. All right. So that's a good thing. Okay. That's a good thing. But that's also to tell you that it's not how long, it's how well. It's how well. That's the point I'm making there. Then Uncle Ben was very adamant on knowing your partner. Know how they respond before you marry. We don't disagree with that, you know. But you cannot know your partner until you know yourself, right? You cannot know your partner until you know yourself. You cannot, emotional intelligence is 3 layers to it. There's knowing yourself when it comes to emotions. First layer. Second layer is knowing how to read other people's emotions, like reading the room, not the room yet, reading the person. Just you're open, active listening until you get a good gauge of where their emotions are. You cannot do that unless you have a good centered self-control on your own emotions, right? And then the third layer of emotional intelligence is social intelligence. Learning how to read a room, learning how to read the vibe, learning how to, some people call it diplomatic. It's actually not just diplomatic, it's engaging your power. Because when you know how to, if they feel heard, remember with the ladies, you can penetrate. Like if you're talking about a crowd or a room, or if they feel like you, like there's a way you carry yourself that they know that this person understands what's going on. You just attract respect, So I'm just going to stay there at that general. So I agree with know your partner, but that's literally impossible if you don't engage knowing yourself. So a lot of people want to know their partner before marriage. That idea tends to fall in the poto because they haven't even learned themselves yet. Hit the like button. Thank you. All right. Then Uncle Beno said, as a man, be the leader. He doesn't want to hear that as a man, be the leader thing. We need to be obsessed with that henceforth. Gentlemen, okay? You are a king. That is a good thing. Please do not get off your throne to say, let's be fair. You are the king. Please. I beg you, just keep listening until it lands, until it hits. I can't over-explain that right now because I'm getting tired too. Just keep listening until it hits, okay? Does that mean men cannot be victims? They can be. Even at that, they struggle with admitting that they are a victim because they can't just lose guard. Because at some point, we need men to be vulnerable, right? You have to lose guard small, right? But that's something that a typical man should struggle with. He should learn it as a skill. Well, also when a woman has game, he can make a man get vulnerable, right? He finish having sex, he gets knocked off, and he doesn't care if somebody kills him in the middle of the night. I'm just giving extreme examples, right? So the point here is that please don't get off your throne to come and be playing me too with women. That's not sexy. It's off. It's out of order. All right. If you feel like you're a victim, remove yourself. That instant fairness. Instant. If it's that bad, remove yourself. Okay. But do it from a place of being intentional. So remove yourself can also mean, shut down. Well, it depends. So it now depends on case by case. What are we talking about exactly? But you're not going to be married to a woman. You're not talking to her for days in the same household. You've lost your position, right? So that makes it. So if it sounds like a contradiction, it depends on. It's a case by case. Are you scared for your life? Why would you leave your house for days? Like, why are you not talking to your wife for days? Let me call it what it is, a punk move, okay? It's soft. That's soft behavior, okay? That's not masculine, all right? So please, don't expect her, even if you come back and she not come back and apologize to you, she resents that. She just lost respect a little bit for you. All right, let's keep going. He said, arriving at a mutually agreed conclusion, Madame will not yield, right? So that's going back to that, is your way or your highway. We already talked about that. There's a good chance that she doesn't feel heard. That's going to pull a heightened level of patience from you. That's something you should now be prepared for the rest of your life. Suru lafin shokobiri. Yes, much patience is required. Not necessarily for her, for yourself. Hey, gentlemen, have some patience for yourself. Just listen. You don't have to land all the points right now. Listen. Take your time. Okay, babe, I've heard you. Let's talk about it tomorrow. You be the first to do that. Don't insist that we must finish that conversation tonight. Don't do that. That's not sexy, by the way. Let's keep going. I know everybody taught you. Don't go to bed with it. But if your wife don't want to talk about it right now, she wants to sleep, that's an opportunity for you to exercise your masculine frame. Let her go and sleep. So babe, go and sleep. I got you. It's okay. No, if you're a talker, if you're like me, that's a difficult thing to do because you want to talk it out. But that's where the skills come in. You know that I'm going to stay sexy. Right? So why am I bringing sexy? Is everything always sexy, Baba? You'll be shocked though. All right? You know how many women are begging for a little bit of romance? Like, he's just so like he calls it traditional, but no, actually she knows what sexy is like. It has nothing to do with traditional. She fell in love with you and you were always traditional. There's something that's missing. It's not the flowers. It's not the flowers. Because we like to hide under that too. You want all this Onyibo stuff. It's not the Onyibo stuff we're asking for. There's something that made her fall in love with you in the first place. You've lost it. She can't see it now. Or vice versa, ladies. Okay? The vice versa. Once she noticed this guy has shut down, at what point? Some people might not notice in that way because they are that much of a coconut head. And you trying to multiply it ahead of them, could it work? So let's teach women. I think when it comes to romantic relationships, women yield to your masculine energy for the most part. If she's an evil person, there's only one thing you should do. Leave her right now, tonight. If we're talking about a person who was once upon a time in love with you, bruh, we need to teach you. If she's complaining, ladies, if you're the one complaining, then definitely we need to teach you. But it's not sustainable long term. At some point, you're going to need a man who will make you feel safe, loved, and secure. Okay, so that's not sustainable because that's where the balance that y'all need so badly, that's where it comes from. It comes from sexual polarity. It doesn't come from you do this, I do that. You do this, I do that. That stuff, cancel it out. Okay, that's not how that works. Anyway, I think we've done this justice. I think we've done well with this one. Chidima says, aha, and I still there here. Good evening, MOP. Good evening, Chidima. Good to see you. Let's see. Abby Doll says, no, let me go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, all right, good. Sesmo say, and then 10 years later, you discover she is your landlord. She has been quiet the whole time, letting you have your way. Yeah, we got to know that just because it looks certain way on the surface doesn't mean it's good. You got to pay that much attention. And paying attention sounds like work? Not really. It just depends, I'm just saying, if you're complaining, then you should know that there's probably resentment underneath. You probably should do something about that now. Don't wait long. Don't wait too long. Sparkleberry says, as for me and my generation, we will not keep malice. We have never done it and do not plan to behave poorly in the near future. Good. Women become men when they keep babysitting or leading men and taking up the responsibility of men. Yoruba will say, ato di ọkùnrin. Stay. Oh, so Yoruba people say that. Send me more. I need to see that. Ato oto di rere mi oto di ọkùnrin. Oto di ọkùnrin. Stay in your femininity, ladies. It's doable. Yes. So that's one thing we can teach ladies. Uncle Ben wants us to teach ladies, and I think Auntie B will come up with something later for the ladies, because I think it's better when it comes from the woman to be teaching them. There are certain things about your feminine energy that you need to learn, but I feel like it lands better when it's coming from a lady. I do have a resource. If you're in the backstage, I will share it with you that can help you ladies with regards to that. If you do it, a man might just get wet and start doing everything you want for you. Okay. So if you're not, it's not do it. There's no it. If you show this energy, this feminine energy, if you exude this energy, there's not a it thing. It's the same thing I was saying. It's more of an art than it's an exact science. It's either you're good at it or you're not good at it. If you've never been good at it, or you find yourself in a situation where you've become okuni, you're not showing masculine, it's going to take, there's a habit that you need to change. It takes a while too. All right. So let's just keep that at the back of our mind. Let me see here. The backstage here. If you come to the backstage, I'll share the resource with you. All right. Let me see here. What else are we dealing with here? The backstage on WhatsApp, yes. Uncle Beno says, I like the idea of 2 anniversaries. Yeah, 2 anniversaries because when you enter marriage, when you say I do, you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't end up in poto poto, that coconut head is very difficult to remove. Yeah. That's, if you don't hit rock bottom, you're not able to listen. Sorry. The Basbo's anniversary and the Soft Life anniversary. Yep. You know I'm saying, you know me. Chinye. Is the resource woo thinking? Yes, it's a woo. Yeah. I'll share. Just don't give it now. Come to the backstage if you want it. Thank God my 2 troublemakers came later. You guys are awesome. The Prestige family is awesome. Okay. I always enjoy this small room. I enjoy it, believe it or not, I enjoy it more than the trendy stuff. Okay. So if we share it and share it and share it and share it, and we get some, because if we do stuff that's not good for the numbers too, that's not good in the long run. So if you share it, it will help YouTube find other people that are engaging this kind of conversation. And then obviously the more, the merrier. But we're cooking, we're doing some work. We have a lot of work coming. All right. So be on the lookout for that. For those of you that want to talk to me, I do offer a complimentary coaching, 30 minutes coaching session. You can send me an email at ask@manofprestige.com so I can hear your story and then see if our program is a fit for you. And then also, if you don't feel like you're ready, or you just want to, go and download the books for free. These 2 books right here, just go and download them for free at manofprestige.com. And then once you confirm, you enter your email where you want us to send it. you will see more information about, to reach out to us. So you can reach out directly by phone number and all those kind of things. All right, with that being said, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. We offer evidence-based relationship and marriage resources and coaching to help you navigate the difficult times.
Don't just wing it. Learn the principles that work.
Download our 2 free books and book your complimentary coaching session now at manofprestige.com.